Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Jubilee Radio, Sun City Radio Keta, Saboba Radio Saboba and A1 Radio Bolgatanga. Get radio and TV online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, a non-starter, inconsistent and full of emotions, the view of the Center for Democratic Development as it steps up its opposition to the anti-gay bill before Parliament.
Is inconsistent, is confusing, it rides on emotions for a bill that seeks to basically imprison people for their sexual preferences.
Also this morning, residents of Weja and motorists who use the Accra Cape Coast Highway angry about the seeming lack of action by city authorities to immediately stop the perennial flooding on sections of the road.
And a lot of the economic wealth of this country passes through here to Takoradi Harbour and all those places.
Staffs are on tables and stuff like that, so that when we are not here and it rains, it doesn't damage.
We also have an update on the flash floods which devastated the Volta Regional Capital Hall over the weekend in business.
Interest rates surged to nearly 30% as government records 31% oversubscription of treasury bills to the tune of about 2.06 billion cedis. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And a successful mini clinic at the Echemoto Retail Center as the build-up to this year's Ecobank Ghana Joy Habitat Fair takes off.
Most of the time, when we are putting up projects, we don't really get advice from the right people. So, these kind of fairs are quite good for us so that we can get advice from the right people.
And Ghana Secondary Technical School aims to secure its maiden national championship victory after being crowned the best school in the National Science and Maths quiz in the Western Zonal Championship.
Let them for us, O Lord, let them for us.
I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Now the details. Persons and institutions opposed to the passage of the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill are raising concerns about the bill in its current form. This is in spite of proposals for amendments to be made to cure human rights violations concerns. Now the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament presented a report that has been adopted by the House for further consideration, even though 3 legal actions, including an injunction suit, have been filed against the process. Director of Advocacy at the CDD, Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who spoke on the probe on the Joy News channel last night, says the bill sets the stage for massive human rights violations if passed in its current form.
This whole bill is a non-starter. It has been a non-starter for some of us, right from the beginning. Even the way the problem is presented is inconsistent, is confusing, it rides on emotions. For a bill that seeks to basically imprison people for their sexual preferences and so on. Right from that start, it then cascades into all manner of violations of the Constitution because the proponents of the bill are so committed to, in a way, let this behavior disappear from society by just imprisoning people, and somehow all those problems would have been solved.
Also, ranking member of the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, Bernard Ahiafo, said the committee incorporated majority views into the final work.
Then after consideration, if there is the need for a bill to be taken through a second consideration, before the motion for a third reading, a member will rise to arrest the motion for third reading and then seek the leave of the Speaker to take the bill through the second consideration. Then after the entire consideration of the bill, it then moves to a third reading stage, and then it is passed. Then as soon as the bill is passed, it's then given to the President for the royal assent. The President has 7 days within which to assent to the bill, and if the President decides not to assent to the bill, then he has 14 days to let the bill come back to Parliament with explanation. The stage that we are now, the Business Committee will have to program the bill for a consideration.
You heard Ranking Member on the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, Bernard Ahiafo. Now to our Floods of Trauma series. Residents of Weja and motorists who use the Accra-Takoradi Highway are angry about the seeming lack of action by city authorities to immediately stop the perennial flooding of sections of the road. Anytime it rains, part of the major highway which links Cape Coast, Takoradi and neighboring Cote d'Ivoire become unmotorable, and it is covered with rainwater and sand washed down from the hills in the area. Maxwell Lokbaba has the latest in our Floods of Trauma series.
It is just minutes after torrential rains here in the Greater Accra region. The usual chaotic scene is back.
The issue is a big one, but as I'm saying,
I have now met a concerned resident, Nana Kwesi Jana Pentin. He's always on the edge anytime he's not at home, and there are signs of rain.
This road that we are talking about serves as the entry point to Central Region, of course, to the Western Region, and of course to Cote d'Ivoire and beyond. And a lot of the economic wealth of this country passes through here to Takoradi Harbour and all those places. But also remember tourism. And you do that and still people can't have access and go there. If we don't do anything about it, there will be a complete cut off.
Nana is not the only person concerned about the situation. Stephen Odum's pharmacy is very close to the highway and says the flooding of the area is an age-old problem.
Make sure that our staffs are on tables and stuff like that, so that when we are not here and it rains, it doesn't damage stuff.
Municipal roads engineer for the Gassaut Municipal Assembly, Daniel Sowa, says the perennial flooding and dumping of silt on the Weja-Tala section and the area close to the Weja toll booth go beyond the assembly, and that the municipal assembly cannot be blamed.
But I realize that the situation is so big that it goes beyond the assembly. The assembly doesn't have the resources to get those works done.
Meanwhile, preliminary assessment by the National Disaster Management Organization has cited building on waterways as the main cause for the flash floods that destroy shops and property in the whole municipality over the weekend. Some residents who were impacted by the floods shared some thoughts on what might have accounted for it.
All this time, there was no development on the mountains. This is the Kabakaba Hills. And the Kabakaba Hills is now taking huge development of hotels and houses. And you know, the rainfall flows from the mountain to the ground or the down here. And this is what we are suffering now. Because when you see the volume of water flowing from the mountain top down there, down to this place where we are now, it's very great. And obstacles here and there, people blocking the path of the water flow, constructions. So something must be done.
Meanwhile, the local assembly blames the flooding on the overflow of bridges in the central business district of the municipality. NADMO agrees. Here is its Volta Regional Director, Ivy Malbomo.
The actual number of people that have been affected. As to the causes, as the Chief Executive said, we realize that some people have some structures on waterways, and it is the duty of the assembly to make sure that those structures are pulled down.
Now, patrons of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair have expressed their gratitude for the amazing discounts enjoyed at the first clinic at the Echimoto Mall. The fair is aimed at helping address Ghana's housing deficit. Joy News Blessed Suga has been interacting with some of them.
Hello, sir. I see that you're seriously trying to know more about the products on offer. You're excited, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm just passing around to be able to get one or two advice for,
window.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What message will you share? I mean, you've been here, you've seen it for yourself.
It's good for us to pass around to get technical advice. Most of the time, when we are putting up projects, we don't really get advice from the right people. So, these kind of fairs are quite good for us so that we can get advice from the right people.
I see you wearing rent to own. What's that about?
Okay, so rent to own basically is a project that we are working on in Pram Pram. It's a city development, a well-planned city that we are working on. So we are having houses and lands on sale. We have very, very amazing discounts as well. So
In a remarkable triumph, Ghana Secondary Technical School GSTS emerged victorious in the Western Regional or Western Zonal Regional Championship, clinching their first ever regional title. The highly anticipated showdown saw previous champion Archbishop Porter Girls Senior High School falling short of expectations. Michael Ashali has more.
The region was set for a nerve-wracking grand finale. One-time winners Archbishop Porter Girls were lost in the contest as they placed third.
Nina. 25.9 meters per second. That is incorrect.
It was Ghana Secondary Technical School who sailed through without a fight.
Archbishop Porter Girls Senior High School had 21 points. And Vijay Senior High School, they got 28 points. And the Giants of the West Side, ESTS wins with 34 points.
For the first time, they truly stand tall as giants in the central region above everyone else.
What should we expect from GSTS?
Nothing but the best.
And that was Michael Ashali's report, and that's it for the bulletin. In our top story, the Center for Democratic Development describes the anti-gay bill before Parliament as a non-starter, inconsistent and full of emotions that cannot be passed in its current form. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies here improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Okay. If I leave work now, I can beat traffic, get takeaways for dinner with the girls, and be on time to pick up Sam and his mom from the hospital. Proud to belong to ABSA.
We know that life is go, 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 and that it's hard to make time for the things that really count. That's why with ABSA's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who is important to you. Get things done simply with our digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's ABSA.
Life's battle during retirement are not won by the strongest. Sooner or later, those who win are those who prepare for it. Ensuring your future is your responsibility to your family and loved ones. Progress Trustees, a company that guarantees a cheerful life of retirement for both formal and informal sector workers. The Progress Occupational Pension Scheme, the Progress Provident Fund Scheme, and the Progress Personal Pension Scheme helps you achieve peace of mind during retirement. We also provide administration services for employer-sponsored schemes, including staff welfare schemes seeking to outsource their day-to-day administration of their second-tier occupational pension and third-tier provident fund scheme. Start your journey to your envisaged quality life during retirement by contacting us on 0504-368-048 on our website www.progresstrusteesgh.com. Progress Trustees, a joyous retirement begins here.
Pay attention, all my Africans and African Americans in the diaspora, plus my white brothers and sisters. What if I told y'all the most trusted real estate company in Ghana, Sukasa, would like to take y'all on a nationwide tour, highlighting prime real estate and investment opportunities. Sukasa builds affordable luxury homes with 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. Come get the real value for your money, plus they have very convenient payment policies with 100% guaranteed cash back. This fully gated or grants and communities include malls, cinemas, and all social amenities, plus 24-hour security. All you gotta do is sign up for the tour for a measly $2,000 and come see what could be yours in real life. The African dream is alive. Contact Sukasa on 030-296-0865 or 055-369-7886 at Sukasa GH on all social media platforms. Email info@sukasa.com.gh. The Sukasa experience is also bringing on board a bunch of other property developers, which means patrons get a variety of options to buy from. This is powered by Government of Ghana, Beyond and Return Secretariat, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Works and Housing, Diaspora Affairs, the Office of the President, British High Commission, and the UK Chamber of Commerce. Media partners, Joy FM, City FM, Peace FM, Business and Financial Times, Graphic Online, and many more. Sukasa, building on trust.
Come with me.
I sat up as the pleasant aroma wafted through the cracks in the door and into my living space. Whatever it was, smelled heavenly. I felt my palates open up to receive this very welcome guest. I mean, I had to taste. And as I rolled it around in my mouth, I realized I just loved the texture. And just like that, it was down my throat and giving my body life. I wanted more. Lele Rice does that to me every single time. Thanks, baby, for cooking today.
You're welcome. And as we continue to enjoy our favorite rice, Lele reminds us to observe all COVID-19 safety protocols because COVID-19 is still around. Lele, tasty food, happy family.
This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, that be the sound you hear when things make hot. I'm sure this is not battery, just cash flow. Laja no D. It is safe to say we are all facing challenging times. We are all wondering how we are going to lighten our financial burdens. Nowhere cool. But don't worry, with a little help from your trusted bank, Societe Generale Ghana, be biara be fine. Societe Generale Ghana is making all its customers happy with the Yatiso Loans promo. In fact, SG Ghana customers and even non-customers who are on the controller and accountant general payroll can enjoy access to our amazing discounted loans. Don't waste time. Get your loan today. Step into a branch or call 0302-214-314 to get the ball rolling. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, promotion ends on 7th August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Don't you worry. Just be happy. Don't you worry.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And the 6 a.m. news brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. So, a poorly maintained car engine, can age faster. That's why we offer specially formulated coarse engine oil with age resistance technology. It's a breakthrough innovation that ensures optimal performance for your engine and improves protection against mechanical wear by up to 74%, even under extreme temperatures and pressure. Choosing Quartz from Total Energies is choosing the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz, keep your engine younger for longer. And Absa Bank says they know that life is go, 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 and it's hard to make time for the things that really count, so they won't let banking get in your way. That's why with Absa's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who's important to you. Banking has never been this easy. Transfer funds into your savings account, pay your old school union dues and your DSTV subscription, and many more with a click on your phone. Get things done simply with Absa's digital channels. That's Africanacity. That's Absa. Terms and conditions apply. Visit absa.com for absa.com.gh for further details. So time now for the Joy Business Report, brought to us by Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we cushion you for life. Akbafu.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. You?
Oh, God is taking care of his children. I'm doing very well.
Nice to hear.
Yes. How was the weekend?
Well, the weekend was good, pretty good. I worked for the weekend, but I was okay.
Yeah, I was listening to you read the news. Anyway, let's see what's coming up this morning here on the Super Morning Show.
But in the Ghana Police Service, for example, which depends on 100% state farm to operate, uses part of the allocated state resources to start a television station. And it starts to typically act as if it is in the business of broadcast journalism. Should we then call the police TV station a state broadcaster? We have too many TV stations, too many radio stations. It is so because there is an existing subsidy of the private media, very huge subsidy.
Right, so you heard from the Director General of the Ghana
Professor
Broadcasting Corporation,
Amina Hassan. Interesting submissions.
Exactly. I mean, over the weekend on Newsfile. But this is Esther Ama, who is a media consultant, also sharing her views on the media national development, the premise, promise, and what actually happens today. Listen.
The challenge that we have in this country is we're often over-certified but underskilled. Journalism is an industry that requires practical application in order to test your skill set. We are in the era of narrative as information. We are in the era where opinion is treated as research.
Yeah, Daryl. Opinion treated as research. And there are a lot of over-certified but under-skilled persons.
Could be true.
In Ghana, particularly within the media space. We'll have this conversation here on the Super Morning Show. Just stay with us during Newsfile. During the news review, we'll bring you a wrap of what transpired on Newsfile, and we'll continue with this conversation here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Time now for the Joy Business Report with Daryl Kwao and the team.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up, interest rates surged to nearly 30% as government records 31% oversubscription of treasury bills to the tune of about 2.06 billion cedis. Also coming up, Bank of Ghana set to continue with targeted dollar support for bulk distributors of petroleum products, despite proposals from IMF to suspend the program, and organized labor suspends intended nationwide strike today, demanding reinstatement of 3 workers of Sunan Asogli Power Company following the intervention of the Council of State. We have details coming up. Do stay with us. My name is Daryl Kwao. First up, interest rates continue to surge on the money market to nearly 30% as the government recorded a 31% oversubscription of treasury bills. The oversubscription was as a result of the lower target of 1.57 billion cedis. Here's more in this Business Desk report.
According to the auction results, chunk of the bid came from the 91-day T-bill, but at a higher interest rate. About 1.63 billion cedis were tendered at a yield of 24.39%, compared with 23.95% the preceding week. However, a little above 1.544 billion cedis were accepted. For the 182-day T-bill, about 297.63 million cedis were tendered by the investors. All the bids were accepted at a rate of 26.02, about 0.23% higher than previously. A little above 137 billion cedis were, however, tendered for the 364-day T-bill at a rate of 29.64%. Many market watchers have described the rising interest rate as a major concern, as the primary motive of the domestic debt exchange program was to bring down the cost of government debt. There is also the crowding out effect as the banks continue to participate significantly in government short-term securities, therefore reducing total loans and advancement. Overall, lending rates will remain high, depriving many businesses and households from accessing funds.
That was a Business Desk report. The coalition of individual bondholder groups has criticized the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and the government for the lackadaisical attitude towards payment of principals to individual bondholders. According to the coalition, all agreements reached for the payment of the outstanding principals have been breached. Speaking to individual bondholders on the way forward to retrieve their investments in a webinar, convener Senyor Hosi said the coalition will begin picketing the Finance Ministry tomorrow, July 11, to compel the Finance Minister to pay them their outstanding principals. He urged all individuals to partake in the picketing. Meantime, a senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Benjamin Anwar, is calling on the Bank of Ghana and other stakeholders to intensify education on government bonds and securities to customers. According to him, most customers do not know their rights and responsibilities when buying bonds, therefore they are shortchanged by some banks. His comment comes on the back of assertions that banks could be sued over how they sold government bonds and cocoa bills to their clients, making them worse off due to the domestic debt exchange program. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Anwar said the way forward is for customers who patronize government securities to know the advantages and disadvantages.
We need to know the responsibility of the customer, the duties of the customer, the privileges of the customer. The question is, how many of us, consumers of financial services, are aware of our rights and responsibilities? Many of us, we don't know. And so long as we don't know, chances are very high that the banks may take advantage of us. What is the rights of the customer? And do the customers or the client know their rights? And more so, whose responsibility is it to educate the customer when it comes to some of these instruments? Is it the bank? Is it the issuer? Or is it the regulator? Or is it the case that the customer himself must educate himself to understand the product that he or she wants to buy? These are some of the conversations that we can have. Then having had that conversation, we can now position what the banks did and what they did not do right.
Senior Finance Lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Benjamin Amwa. Now, the Bank of Ghana has signaled its intention to still go ahead with the targeted dollar support for the bulk oil distribution companies to support fuel imports. This is despite proposals from the International Monetary Fund that the central bank should take steps to suspend the program. Here's George Afi with more.
Bank of Ghana's decision to still press ahead of this program came up during one of those engagements between the central bank and these bulk distributors of petroleum products. This is, however, not to say that the central bank has totally rejected the IMF's proposal to take steps to halt this targeted dollar support program. The IMF had maintained that it doesn't help in allowing the forces of demand and supply to determine the exchange rate, as it sees the Bank of Ghana's action as a deliberate regulatory intervention to control the exchange rate. However, persons close to the Bank of Ghana had argued that the decision to go ahead this program should be seen as a temporary measure, whilst it looks ahead to see how it will be feasible to totally suspend the program. The uncertainty about the future of this dollar support program for the bulk oil distributors brought some pressure on the Ghana cedi some 2 weeks ago. Some players have told Joy Business that the decision to continue this program, at least for now, may help to consolidate the Ghana cedi's gains against the US dollar and stabilize the rates going forward. It could also go a long way to possibly keep fuel prices at the pumps unchanged from the 16th of this month.
George, I feel with that report, let's turn to the currency market for you this morning. The dollar going for 11 cedis 70 pesos, the pound going for 14 cedis 95 pesos, the euro trading at 12 cedis 73 pesos. Now, organized labor has suspended its intended nationwide strike today following the intervention of the Council of State. Labor unions in the country earlier announced through the Trades Union Congress their resolve to embark on an industrial action over the failure of management of Sunan Asogli to reinstate 3 workers sacked for joining the Ghana Mine Workers Union. This was after several appeals and petitions for the company to rescind its decision. In other news, the Ghana Shippers Authority is calling for the revision of the maritime law to properly regulate activities at the ports. According to Chief Executive of the authority, Benonita Bismarck, the revision is necessary to address critical setbacks such as piracy. She was speaking at the 14th Maritime Law Seminar for selected justices of the High Court.
The thing is, the Deputy Attorney General talked about Act 29, which is almost 6 decades. So it is difficult to use a law that doesn't contain all the provisions that you need to address current issues. You know, at that time, piracy in the Gulf of Guinea was unknown. But now, we talked about some statistics, about 35 seafarers have been kidnapped, some have been killed. So you need to have a law that can bite. You can't, as an administrator of justice, it's not you. You have to go to the law and apply the law. But if it is not there, then no, you can't give what you don't have. So we need to revise, and the Chief Justice talked about that. We need to revise the law to ensure that it is in consonance with what is happening currently and even for the future.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck. Now, the Managing Director of MultiChoice Ghana, Alex Autry, has indicated that the depreciation of the cedi and high inflation recorded in the past few months has had adverse effects on its operations. He's, however, hopeful that the economy will rebound soon. He spoke to the media during a walk to mark the company's 30th anniversary.
It's been difficult, right? I mean, we all know about the economic challenges we've faced, inflation, depreciation of the cedi, but it's part of the difficulties that I mentioned we've gone through, right? So MultiChoice has been here 30 years. There's been a lot of similar issues in the 30 years, but we are here. I mean, so we have a strong backbone, we have a strong group that has strong properties. So we'll continue to be here. I mean, it will just be a blip or a difficulty along the way, but we will surmount it. I'm sure the Ghanaian economy will rebound and we'll get to the good days again.
Managing Director of MultiChoice Ghana, Alex Autry, and our patrons who thronged the first clinic of the 2023 EcoBank Journeys Habitat Fair described the housing fair as very critical in their quest to secure their own homes. The clinic, which took place at the Chimota Retail Center here in Accra over the weekend, brought together several patrons who engaged experts on what to do and how to go about owning their dream homes. Here's Daniel Ohine Edu, Project Manager of Cities and Habitats, who says his outfit has packaged his products for customers to easily own them.
We have looked at it in terms of the various, rent, incomes, earnings around the country, and especially in Accra, Greater Accra, where our project is, and packaged or modeled our project to be able to meet, needs of would-be, potential clients. Everything we do, every move or every step we take, the course of the project is driven by research. I mean, we have that.
Let's turn to the stock market now. Share prices of Societe Generale and Fan Milk are expected to rise on demand this week. Let's hear from Data Bank researchers Grace Munayon.
Last week, the stock market indices advanced on price gains in 3 equities. Guinness Ghana gained 20% to end the week trading at 2 cedis 32 pesos, while MTN Ghana advanced 13% to 1 cedi 45 pesos. Societe Generale also closed 2 pesos higher to 61 pesos. Conversely, Total Energy shaved 68 pesos to 6 cedis 12 pesos. Additionally, Access Bank lost 20 pesos to 3 cedis 60 pesos, while Benso Oil Palm Plantation reduced 11 pesos to close the week trading at 14 cedis. As a result, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index gained 5.64% weekly to a year-to-date gain of 21.38%. Based on the demand and supply dynamics on the market, we tip the share price of Societe Generale and Fan Milk to rise on demand, while we forecast Access Bank to fall. For Joy Business Report, Grace Munayon of Data Bank Research.
On the commodity market, as we wrap up this morning, crude oil opened trading at $78 a barrel. Gold is selling at $1,920 an ounce after going down by more than $4. Cocoa trading at $3,310 a ton. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Thanks for listening, everyone. The Super Morning Show continues with Winston. Do stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you very much, Darryl Kwal, for joining us with the Joy Business Report here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Time now for our inspirational song for today. And our inspirational song for today is brought to us by Duraplast Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. Where Duraplast goes, water flows. And it's one by Joyful Way Incorporated. That's our inspirational song for today here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Time now to get into our Drive Safe campaign brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality. So avoid all distractions, keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible, drive with your lights on at night, and that's how you drive safe. So Toyota says, get ready for an electrifying adventure with Toyota Ghana. Toyota Ghana has unleashed exhilarating offers for a limited time only. Come and experience very attractive prices for the following vehicles. That's a Toyota Starlet, RAV4 Adventure, Fortuner Diesel and Land Cruiser 300 series. In these offers, you're short of a 1-year free service package for any of the listed vehicles you buy. Time is ticking and this opportunity won't last forever. Visit any of their showrooms in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Tamale, Takwa, Takrady, or call 0302-910-2044 for further information. Credit purchase is also available through special arrangement with their finance partners. Toyota Superior Quality. Good morning, Fred Smith.
Good morning to you, Winston.
Hope you're doing very well this morning.
Yeah, I'm great.
And you had a great weekend?
Wonderful one. I spent at the Achimota Retail Center.
Okay.
Where we had the Habitat Fair first mini clinic. And I must say, it was an eye-opener for me, some of the things that the exhibitors had on display.
Okay.
For instance, I visited the stand of rent to own.
Okay, rent to own. Cities and Habitats.
That cities and habitat, and the building they're putting up in Pram, wonderful, and support they're giving to people to get their own homes. So yeah, a great weekend.
Good weekend. So you know that you can't miss the second clinic coming up shortly. We'll communicate that date to you on as part of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair under the theme Home Ownership, Affordability, Comfort or Luxury. But let's learn how to say it right. It's brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. And Societe Generale Bank Ghana, the future is you.
Something must be done.
So today I want us to learn how to, say this idiom right. Birds of a feather flock together. Many of us are tempted to say birds of the same feathers flock together. While that may make sense, the idiom is very simple. Birds of a feather flock together. That means people of the same interest, or people who have the same interest, normally move or get together. So now that you know how to say it right, make sure the next time you don't confuse it with birds of the same feather when you actually mean to say birds of a feather flock together. Fred, you are saying something.
We actually paid money to go and learn birds of the same feather.
Oh, in school?
Yes.
Yes. Those days, it made a lot of sense, to say, big birds of the same feathers flock together. But the idiom is such that you don't get the meaning by adding everything together. So birds of a feather flock together. Now, somebody said the last time when I said you don't say cut your coat according to your size, or that the thing that we learned all this while that you cut your coat according to your size, you're telling us today that it's cut your coat according to your cloth. The reality is that you don't cut your coat according to your size. The idiom is that you cut your coat according to your cloth.
Yeah.
What is available to you is what you use. And so at that moment, it is not actually your size that matters, but it's the cloth that is available to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So sometimes we just have to, some of these idioms, and that's why we're learning how to say it right, so that we move away from saying it wrongly. But Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices, says, look, now they've introduced an online store. So don't come to, if you can't, don't worry yourself driving to any of their branches. Just log on to kingdomstoreonline.com. 1, they will arrange delivery to your home and office within a reasonable time. 2, they offer free delivery within Accra and Tema. And 3, they accept payment via Momo across all networks. But hey, just note that terms and conditions have applied. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. Time now for the newspaper review brought to us by First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different, and Syntex Tank, a strong, a tap. But before we get into, the newspapers, let's first of all go for a wrap on what happened Saturday on Newsfile. And on Newsfile on Saturday, there's a conversation about the media and national development. Listen to Professor Amin Al-Hassan, Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and Esther Ama, who's a media consultant.
A lot of media ownership is actually in the hands of politicians, and they bring their political color to the content that is produced on their platforms. They bring their political color to the voices that can have expression on these platforms.
It is sad that Ghana has experienced a precipitous decline from its 26th position on the World Press Freedom Index to the current 62 or 62nd. It is not enough to exhibit linguistic mastery. So we need to deepen this capacity training programs to ensure that we post a different narrative as far as the quality of journalism in this country is concerned.
The reality of narrative versus the illusion of information. We are in the era of narrative as information. We are in the era where opinion is treated as research. And we are in an era where opinion and narrative is what constitutes news. Even though what we say is we want to offer you credible information, we want to offer you objectivity. Those are things that in the evolution of the market has completely transformed.
The big question we must ask ourselves is, what if the electronic space is literally unlimited? Will the regulatory powers of the NCA be justified? Assuming that we look back and we see that the framers of the Constitution knew that there will come a time when the electronic space to publish is like the marketplace of the newspaper.
We do not have a clear policy direction as we speak for DTT migration. We want to see the two bills, which is the broadcasting bill and the advertising bill, passed into law. This will help to consolidate a lot of the things that we need to do.
The Constitution says the media shall be free to uphold the principles and objectives of the Constitution, and not just that, but they shall also uphold the responsibility and accountability of the government to the people of Ghana. So I think it is important to make the fundamental point that when the media and journalists are acting in ways to hold government and appointees accountable, they are simply performing a constitutional duty.
That's a wrap of what happened, on News File on Saturday. You heard from, Afil Moni, former GJA president. You heard from Esther Ama. You heard also from Suleiman Brahma and others telling us their views on the role of the media in national development. I don't know, Fred, what do you make of it? Particularly one that has been trending is, one on a lot of people being over-certified but under-skilled in this country. Anyway, let's get into the newspapers now.
All right, so I have the Daily Graphic with me, and it leads with the story from the National Health Insurance Scheme. It says that the scheme has hit 17.2 million membership, and this is the highest since its inception. Comes to the photo of the Chief Executive, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, speaking there. So my question is, yes, membership is growing, so how is it benefiting those who are supposed to benefit from this?
The Ghana Health Service report, and I'm going to be quoting a particular document to you, Fred, because this is from the Ministry of Health's own document. And you will see that in 2022, they actually released just 127 million Ghana cedis to the NHIS, okay? And watch this carefully. Now, this says that, let me just read this, share this with you and ask a very simple question. So here we are talking about how it is doing so, but the question is, are we releasing enough funds to it? It says that in absolute terms, the authority received 127 million of its total approved budget for the year 2021. And that actually represents 6.7%. This is a Ministry of Health document. So yes, we've hit 17.2 million. But how are the persons on the National Health Insurance Scheme benefiting from the scheme?
I share an experience with you. I know someone who went to hospital, spent so much money, close to 10,000 Ghana cedis. You know how much NHIS covered? Less than 100 cedis.
Wow.
Actually, less than 50 cedis. 27 cedis is what I'm talking about. So it's a pity. We need to look into it. We need to restructure this.
Exactly. Talking about it being a pity. Look at this carefully. From 2017 to 2021, according to that same document,
there's been a reduction in the release to the NHIS. Okay? Now, it says that in 2017, okay, as in the National Health Insurance Authority, in 2017, they received 69.6%. 2018, 66. 2019, 42. 2020, 36. 2021, 6.7.
Yes, and you know, Winston, this is a statutory fund. It was set up for a specific purpose. So why release something below what has been contributed to the fund? We need to look back into it. But there are other stories in the Daily Graphic. Government committed to protecting intellectual property. That's according to the Attorney General. Police arrest chief for destroying 33,000 rubber trees. An interesting story there coming from the Western region. And I understand this tree is the Odikru of Jabenkrum, and two others who did this. They destroyed more than 33,000 mature rubber trees on a plantation belonging to the Ghana Rubber Estates Limited in the Hunter West municipality of the Western region. Nana, why? Nana, why? There's this story here as well. African states need trade partnerships. That's according to the Zambian president. You know, he came to Ghana last week and spent time going around, and I think he visited there's a Jospon recycling plant, and he visited there to learn at first hand how we in Ghana are recycling our waste.
Now, I've been listening to Jan Sako actually, deliver a lecture to a group of Nigerians. One of the things he said in there, which caught my attention, was the fact that, look, Africans cannot afford to fail. But in not affording to fail, we must learn from wherever they've succeeded. Yeah. And in Africa, you can learn from other countries. You can learn from Rwanda. He makes that point about Rwanda. So if you can learn from Ghana, why not? Go ahead and learn from Ghana. Let me get to the daily guide for today. It says, I'm Kufuor's seed nurtured by Nana. That's according to Dr. Bawumia. So he's been campaigning in the Ashanti region, we're told. And when he met some delegates, he talks about how he got appointed by President Kufuor after they had been to, a meeting about the Ghanaian economy. A lot of people were saying things. When he got up to speak, the whole mood in the room changed. And so he's actually Kufuor's seed that has been nurtured by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And thus should be voted.
It's been an interesting campaign for him in the Ashanti region. You remember last week, he also mentioned that when the party needed someone to stand up to help it recapture power, he was there. He was in the dock to answer questions. He brought all the pink sheets. You and I were not there.
Well, but yes, he was there. There's also a school of thought, actually, that says that when a party goes into an election, there are two persons, okay, who are guaranteed positions. You know who they are? Only two persons are guaranteed positions whenever a party is going into an election.
Who are these?
The president and the vice president.
Okay.
They're the ones who contest on the ticket of the party. They are the only ones whose position are guaranteed by the constitution if the party is successful in the election. Now, when the party files a suit, the running mate of the election, why not, should be in there. You were in there. The party was unsuccessful in court at the time, and Akufo-Addo, Jacob Echebelamte, and him, he was part of the plaintiffs. They are not successful in court, but eventually the party learned lessons that enabled the party to win the 2016 general elections. Let's see how it will go.
There are even suggestions that others even did more than he did. And so why campaign? But of course, he's the one who stepped forward to be the flag bearer of the party. So yeah.
Yeah, one of the things you would see in elections all the time is that a lot of things will be said from now to the time that the NPP goes to Congress on August 26 and also on November 4. Okay, a lot of issues would come here and there. All persons trying so much to catch the party's attention or the delegates' attention. I'm actually surprised a lot of them are going around speaking to a lot of the delegates. Well, it could be part of their plan, because now you should be speaking to the super delegates, because the party is going into a super delegates conference. And so not all the over 300,000 delegates are eligible to vote on the 26th of August. Only 900 will be voting the 26th of August. That should be your focus.
I have some politics here.
Before you get to the finder, let me just do this. It says Attorney General WIPO boss hold talks in Geneva. And so it says that Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfred Yeboah Dame has held fruitful discussions with the Director General of the World Intellectual Property Organization, Daring Tang, on the sidelines of the WPO's General Assembly, which is currently taking place in Geneva. And we're told that the recent location of the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade in Accra, which has a dedicated intellectual property division, has highlighted the need to foster an enabling environment for creativity and innovation to thrive at the national and continental level. And finally, Minister exposes a Black West fallacy contract, making reference to Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, and Fremont Sale Parry honored with a PhD. Back page, David De Gea quits Man United after 12 years. Oh, sad. Anyway.
Yeah, we wish him very well. And I bring you back to politics, and the Bawumia story is also here. I am Akufo-Addo creation. Dr. Bawumia proclaims at meetings with delegates, and the finder also captures what the other candidates are saying. I persuaded World Bank to inject $200 million into tree crops agenda. That's Dr. Akutu Efriye. And Alan has served NPP longer than his competitors. That's according to Nyama there. And Winston, over the weekend, there were floods in the Volta regional capital, who as well is the first time in a very long time that this has happened there. We've always known flooding to happen in Accra, Kumasi, Tema, and a few other places. But this time, we have the Volta region experiencing it, and the capital whole very devastated so far. We understand it's also because people have built on waterways. The same problems, the same reasons we hear in Accra, the same reasons we hear in Kumasi as well. So the assembly plans to demolish these structures. Why do we allow ourselves to go through this?
You see, we'll have this conversation later. Before you develop, you should have planned. You don't develop and go back to want to plan.
Yeah.
When you do that, when development succeeds planning, there's a problem. What this tells you is that consistently as a people, we are lost when it comes to our planning and our development. Let me just go for the online news review. We'll come back and talk about this later on the show. Online news review brought to us by Zenith Bank, in your best interest, and Goil Good Energy. So, looking for a bank that understands you and puts your financial needs first, then look towards Zenith Bank. So, whether you're a young, old, an entrepreneur, a student, a salaried worker, corporate entity, a child, a parent, a Ghanaian resident abroad, or a foreigner resident in Ghana, at Zenith Bank, everyone can bank with us. So, what are you waiting for? Join the Zenith family today for an unrivaled banking experience. For inquiries, call 0302-680-884 or 0307086370 or 0542001111, or send an email to info@zenithbank.com.gh. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. And God says, what do you do when you run out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just stop up anywhere? Don't do that. Let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be part. Goil Super XP, Ron 95 and Diesel SP are the best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is a high-grade fuel sold at the same price as normal fuel, and Goil Diesel SP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. With over 440 stations across the nation, join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Goil Good Energy, Goil Ya Yedim. And myjoyonline.com says NPP has failed. None of its aspirants is a threat to the NDC. That's according to Akwesi Opong Fosu. They're making
that's an opinion.
Making that point there. And also says most advertisers are migrating to the digital media space. Cecil Sumkwamels, who is president
and so
of GIBA.
what? And so what? And that's why I was so incensed last week when global events were happening. There was Twitter and the new one, what's it called? Threads.
Thread, yes.
Were in a battle. Do you know what they're doing? They know they can make money from you, and that's why they were fighting.
Okay.
Our MPs were not in the house. They were not thinking about us, our representatives in parliament. How do we benefit from that fight?
We'll get to this. Let's now go for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goil. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost, but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
It's time to go beyond what your traditional financial apps can do. Introducing Cowry, the only digital financial app you will ever need. Experience Cowry, the way to pay. Send. Move your money in quick, easy steps at the best rates on the market. Buy. Top up your airtime and data twice as fast as you normally do. Pay. Step out of the cash queue. Pay for any product or service when you need to. Enjoy it faster. And now, manage. Experience a new way of managing your money. Understand how and when your money moves. You can rely on Cowry every day. Download Cowry from your Google Play Store or App Store. Experience Cowry, the way to pay.
Are you a corporate organization, e-commerce business, individual or student looking for a trusted courier company where you can track your package and receive SMS alerts to keep you posted? At IAS FedEx, we move your documents and parcels with care to the destination of your choice. With offices across the nation, we happily deliver your package to your office or the comfort of your home. With the assurance of safety and affordability giving you peace of mind, IAS FedEx has your package in good hands. Call us on +233 501 605,000 or +233 501 631,000. IAS, licensee of FedEx.
No matter your water needs, Sintex has it all. Sintex Tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Sintex Tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Sintex Tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Sintex Tank. Sintex Tank, stress-free. Sintex Tank, reliable. Sintex Tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit sintexgh.com. Sintex Tank, strong, tough.
And locked in a potentially dangerous confrontation with neighbouring.
And the minority, in solidarity, boycotted Parliament and went to the cause. We've been having this conversation, which we had talked about the last time. We had indicated that how about, doing other things? How about, for instance, just indicating, for instance, that you're not going to be part of, media budget review readings as a show of protest, but leaving your parliamentary responsibility and going to court. But they've been explaining that, look, as a way of showing that they're unhappy with, what is happening in the country. They see it as persecution. But yesterday, Dr. Rashid Draman made a point, which I think the NDC should actually take seriously. He said, if you are a responsible opposition, and here let me explain what a responsible opposition is. He says, an irresponsible opposition is one that knows they will never come to government. So everything they do is to frustrate governments. A responsible opposition is one that knows there's a possibility of coming into government. And that's the NDC's position now, because they have a chance of being in government. Okay? So if you are a responsible opposition, you must be mindful of the neutrals watching. How long can you continue boycotting parliamentary duties? Today, if the government wants to pass any law which they believe is good for the country, which they believe, they could just wait, and the day that Judge Kwesi is going to court, they take it to parliament. Right. They will marshal order 138, will show up in parliament vote, and that's the end of it. There will be nobody to protest. There will be nobody to raise doubts. And I pointed out yesterday to Roxanne that look, e-levy, on the day the minority insisted that the 100 cities which attracts no e-levy should be maintained when the minister reduced it to 1%, and the minister accepted it. If they were not there, we would have had a situation whereby we no longer enjoy that. So they are playing a major role in our democracy. And yes, they boycotted Parliament yesterday. But I think it's about time they reconsidered that view. Otherwise, government will pass certain, bills and agreements which may not inure to our benefit as a country, and will blame the minority and say, if you had been there, you probably could have articulated our views for us. So I think that, look, yes, you've made the point. You can actually boycott other sittings. For instance, the budget reading. And you can say, for instance, that yes, but he will come and take part in the budget. Because the budget, post the courts, affect all of us.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that for Parliament or members of Parliament, boycott is one of the tools that they use. Walkout is one of the tools that they use. In this circumstances, I made a point the last time that the matter is before a court of competent jurisdiction. Now, the judiciary is an independent arm of government. The judge sitting on the case does not wear political colors. The persons who are before court are being taken to the normal and the established due process. Dr. Atuforsen, Judge Kwesi. In fact, in the case of Dr. Atuforsen, and of course, Alhaji Collins Dauda, the speaker gave permission, because that is the practice, that the court will write to the speaker that these people are involved in this case or the other, and for that reason, they will be required to be in court whenever the case is called. So that's, that permission was granted, and that's the reason why they are able to go to court to assess in this case, whether it involves them, their witnesses, or whatever it is. So that is ongoing. So, to say that you are boycotting it entirely because some of your members are in court and you want to describe it as persecution, even though they have been taken through the normal due process, I have difficulty accepting this position. Are you telling us that because they are MPs and they have a case to answer, they shouldn't be called to answer because they are politicians? Then what message are you sending to the people who don't have titles to their names? That, to me, establishes the point that there is a law that exists for a certain class of people, and then the generality of the people, we should fight for ourselves. Like I made a point the last time. If I should be arrested this morning that I jumped a red light, so I should expect that the entire media fraternity will say that we are not working today. We are closing down our radio or our media houses in solidarity with me because I'm being taken to court. What kind of society are we building? Do you have trust in the court or not? The court is dealing with the matter. Allow the court to come to a conclusion on it. But to take this position, to neglect your responsibility as an MP, because the claim is that you are being persecuted, when a court is dealing with this matter, if your innocence is established, you'll be allowed to go scot-free. If you are guilty, you go inside. I don't see how this boycott is of any importance, especially in these circumstances where your attention, your attendance is much needed at this crucial time in a society where our economy is virtually on the free fall. We need them, and so they should rethink this position they have taken. We are paying them to represent us in Parliament. We are not paying them for them to sit home and go and follow some people who have been taken to court, been taken to due process.
And the minority, in solidarity, boycotted Parliament and went to the courts. We've been having this conversation, which we had talked about the last time. We had indicated that how about, doing other things? How about, for instance, just indicating, for instance, that you're not going to be part of, media budget review readings as a show of protest, but leaving your parliamentary responsibility and going to court. But they've been explaining that, look, as a way of showing that they're unhappy with what is happening in the country. They see it as persecution. But yesterday, Dr. Rashid Draman made a point, which I think the NDC should actually take seriously. He said, if you are a responsible opposition, and here let me explain what a responsible opposition is. He says, an irresponsible opposition is one that knows they will never come to government. So everything they do is to frustrate governments. A responsible opposition is one that knows there's a possibility of coming into government. And that's the NDC's position now, because they have a chance of being in government. Okay? So if you are a responsible opposition, you must be mindful of the neutrals watching. How long can you continue boycotting parliamentary duties? Today, if the government wants to pass any law which they believe is good for the country, which they believe, they could just wait, and the day that Judge Kwesi is going to court, they take it to Parliament. Right. They will marshal order 138, will show up in Parliament, vote, and that's the end of it. There will be nobody to protest. Yeah. There will be nobody to raise doubts. And I pointed out yesterday to Roxanne that, look, e-levy, on the day the minority insisted that the 100 cities which attracts no e-levy should be maintained when the minister reduced it to 1%. And the minister accepted it. If they were not there, we would have had a situation whereby we no longer enjoy that. So they are playing a major role in our democracy. And yes, they boycotted Parliament yesterday. But I think it's about time they reconsidered that view. Otherwise, government will pass certain, bills and agreements which may not inure to our benefit as a country.
Good morning show on Joy 99.7 FM. Keep quiet. And thank you very much for staying with us. Let's get interactive this morning. Join us on Twitter using the hashtag JoySMS. But Fidelity Bank says they have fantastic news for people who live and work at Oyarifa. Now, Ghana's largest privately owned bank, Fidelity Bank, is opening a brand new branch at Oyarifa. So now we are closer to you than ever. No one like Visit our new branch today at the Owusu-Ansah Junction, Oyarifa, to enjoy a suite of top-notch banking services and experience superior customer service in a delightful and inviting environment. We look forward to serving you. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. Could be considered as good sin. I'm just thinking about it and asking myself, that simple question. What is it that could be considered as a good sin? Still live right here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. So you know what? Times are hard, and one thing on everyone's mind these days is cash. So whether it's cash to pay the bills or for your kids' school fees, your home improvement, or for that building project, Societe Generale Ghana has you covered, okay? Look, the bank has launched the biggest loans campaign of the year, the Yatisa Loans promo, and SG is offering amazingly discounted interest rates on its loans. Both customers and non-customers, including staff on the Controller and Accountant General payroll, can enjoy access to heavily discounted loan rates. Yes, they say nowhere cool, but SG Ghana is here to lighten your financial burdens. Get a loan by visiting any of the bank's 42 network outlets or call 0302 214-314 today. And as always, remember, terms and conditions apply. Promo ends on the 7th of August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. Now this morning, coming up here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM.
Ghana Police Service, for example, which depends on 100% state farm to operate, uses part of the allocated state resources to start a television station. And it starts to typically act as if it is in the business of broadcast journalism. Should we then call the police TV station a state broadcaster? We have too many TV stations, too many radio stations. It is so because there is an existing subsidy of the private media, very huge subsidy.
The challenge that we have in this country is we're often over-certified but underskilled. Journalism is an industry that requires practical application in order to test your skill set. We are in the era of narrative as information. We are in the era where opinion is treated as research.
All right, so that's what transpired over the weekend on Newsfile, and we're continuing that discussion right here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. So, look, over the weekend during our conversation, our Joy Chain Speaker Series 5 on the media and its role in national development, there's been a conversation about, a lot of persons passing on opinion as research. And the fact that in this country we have a lot of over-certified but underskilled people. This morning, I want us to have this conversation together, and I'm sure you also have a view. Why don't you join us on Twitter using the hashtag JoySMS, and you can also join us via WhatsApp 055-111-997. And Republic Bank says, keep winning in the promo that keeps giving. Continue to make all your payments with our 4 fantastic credit cards. That's Classic, Addition, Infinite, or Republic Visa Business credit cards. Enjoy interest, holidays, cashback, rewards, global concierge services, and access to over 1 million ATMs worldwide, while you stand a chance to win a 2-day staycation at Aqua Safari in the Tap to Pay credit card promo reloaded. Just tap to pay, live the soft life, we got you. Now, this promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Carter's Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Republic Bank, we are the one for you. Time now for Nutrition Line, and is brought to us by Nestle. Nestle offers good food for a good life.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo All-in-One for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids All-in-One. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further. Milo. This advert is FDA approved.
This is Nestle Nutrition Line. Nestle Nutrition Line is a public service program from Nestle Ghana Limited. Nestle Nutrition Line offers tips on good food for a good life. Now to your presenter.
Here we are again. All creamy, delicious, and packed with goodness. It's Nestle Nutrition Line. I'm Jackie Ankra, also known as Na Ajilisoa. How are you feeling today? Looking on the bright side of life, I hope. Ready to advance into great success, I hope. This morning on Nutrition Line, we're discussing in detail how simple sugars damage your teeth. Examples of simple sugars are glucose, sucrose, lactose, and fructose. When you eat foods high in simple sugars such as sugary beverages and snacks, bacteria in the mouth feed on the sugar and form dental plaque, which is a sticky, colorless film that forms on the surface of the teeth. if the plaque is not washed away by saliva or brushing, the environment in the mouth becomes more acidic and cavities may start to form. There are steps you can take to reduce damage to your teeth, and the first of these is to decrease your consumption of high sugar snacks and sugary beverages. You should also decrease your consumption of carbonated beverages, as the acidic compounds they contain can wear down and weaken the tooth, leaving you with a higher risk of developing cavities and tooth infections. If you're consuming sugary snacks and beverages or carbonated drinks, do so quickly to reduce the time your teeth are exposed to the sugar or acid. Another tip is to rinse your mouth with water after eating or drinking beverages to dislodge food particles and reduce acidity in the mouth. I hope you've learned something new, something beneficial that you can apply for a healthier, longer, happier life. Thank you for joining us this and every weekday morning. You can reach us via phone and make the conversations more exciting, more interactive. 0302 517 020 or 0302 211 880. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Toll free 0800 12 0001. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight. Weekends and holidays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You may WhatsApp, SMS, or call 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. the following numbers: 0593 845697, 0593 845649, 0593 845708. Or you can send an email if you prefer to consumerservices@gh.nestle.com. A beautiful day is what I wish you. Go out and do something incredibly, amazingly remarkable with your life. Have a great day. Bye.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo all-in-one for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give it all in one. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year, only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfits.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data, or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN Just For You. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique Just For You package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide, high credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis, and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100, or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
1xBet Jackpot is here with weekly massive prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is place your bets on any sports game and stand a chance to win. Simply register at 1xbet.com.gh. Use promo code JackpotGhana and place your bets. 1xBet is your key to great victories. Feel like a winner. 1xBet. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
more perfectly than to have a world party on the day you came to be. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Welcome to the birthday messages here on the Super Morning Show, and it's brought to us by MTN Everywhere You Go and Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. Now, there's good news for small to medium scale business owners because with MTN SME Plus, you get to manage all your operational costs in communication. The service simply allows you to choose from affordable packages and enjoy talk time, SMS data, and business content all bundled in one subscription. The other exciting news is you get free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Simply dial star 5060 hash to sign up today. WhatsApp or call 0244 308 111 for more information and stay connected everywhere you go. So it's back to school time and the usual fee-paying wahala has just begun. Now the long queues at the school, the risk and exhausting hours spent in traffic to bank cash, the piles of receipts and time-consuming weeks of account reconciliations, you just name them. Well, Bank of Africa is introducing to you its modern and innovative fee collection platform, BOA Pay. With BOA Pay, parents are offered the flexibility of paying fees of the awards using their phones or computers at the comfort of their homes or offices directly into the school's account using either their mobile money wallets, credit or debit cards. Let's help you collect fees the BOA Pay way. Walk into any of our branches across the country and talk to our relationship officers. You can also call our hotlines on 0302-429-333 or 0302-249-690. Visit our website or social media handles for more information. Let's go digital. Let's go cashless. Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Winston. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm very good.
Okay, great. Let's get into the chaotic shouts for this morning now. And let's see whose birthday it is today. Okay, so I've got it now. Let's see whose birthday is today. And it's your birthday, so happy birthday to you, Doris and Agnes Ajay Tego. We thank God for his blessings and another year. This is from the whole family to you. Enjoy your day. And a belated happy 70th birthday to Mrs. Yvonne Indum, who is wife of Dr. Papakwesi Indum. She's a great trainer, motivator, and inspirer. May God continue to bless you and keep you strong and healthy. Okay, so I'm done. That's all from me, thank you.
Yesterday was Raymond Akwe's birthday.
Oh, yes.
How could you forget? Did
Raymond.
you give him a big K?
We have to give him a big K. So it's a K.
K. Yeah. Where is Raymond?
Raymond is on leave.
How long is his leave?
Hey, Fentu, you've asked a question.
Yes.
Please, Samuel Dami, come. You say how long is what?
How long is his leave?
I beg. I do not.
You should come back to work.
I do not sanction leaves here.
That's a nice way of running away from answering the question.
Know. Well, I mean, I know the question. I know this is the 5th week that Kojo has not been around. It's also been the 5th week that Raymond Akwa has also not been around.
And forever since Mamavi.
Mamavi has been away since May.
Yeah.
And so she's been away for 2 months. We're probably in the 7th or 8th week. But the good news is that Mamavi and Kojo will be joining us on Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll have a full house on Monday. So don't worry. Anyway, how was your weekend?
It was good. More family time. So
okay. You spent time with your family.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't dance.
No. I've retired from dancing.
Oh, you've done what?
I've retired.
Can you advise Lexis Bill to do same?
Too good at this job. So and I'm talking about the dancing, so I've stopped.
Because you and Lexis Bill, you have the same thing when it
Do
comes
we?
to that. Oh, you do. All of
Do
you are
we?
bad dancers. Anyway,
That's not fair.
What's
That's
up? Anyway, let's get into the sports today. You tell me what happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
England are at it again, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, a new hero, Trafford.
That's it.
Trafford.
That's the name.
Trafford.
That's the name.
He's everywhere.
Euro under 21 champions, and now he's joining Man City on a 19 million
Burnley
pound
on Man
deal.
City?
Burnley, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for him. He's just joined Burnley from Man City.
Why is United not able to sell players like that? This is a goalkeeper who's like a third or fourth choice.
Yeah.
And he's going
Man
for
City.
And going for 19 million.
Yeah.
United will sell Fred for 10 million.
United have done away with the hair for free.
Let's get into the Sports Center now, and it's proudly brought to us by MTN. Everywhere you go, Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. Allianz Life Insurance, we secure your future. 1xBet, your reliable bookmaker. And DSTV, it's your moment.
And have you heard about the Allianz for Life plan? It's an affordable life insurance policy you can get wherever you are. All you have to do is dial star 170 hash on MTN and select 5521, and voila, you and another life are covered for hospitalization and death. You also enjoy very low premium cashbacks every year and many more. Call Allianz Life Insurance on 0308-249090 or visit our website on allianz-gh.com. Allianz for Life. It's just dial star 170 hash on MTN. Mato for life.
So there's good news for small to medium scale business owners, because with MTN SME Plus, you get to manage all your operational costs in communication. The service simply allows you to choose from affordable packages and enjoy talk time, SMS, data, and business content, all bundled in one subscription. The other exciting news is you get free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Simply dial star 5060 hash to sign up today. WhatsApp or call 0244 111 for more information, and stay connected everywhere you go.
That's right. And let me tell you about 1xBet. To all registered 1xBet players, we have something interesting for you. Okay, a reliable bookmaker has launched a Jackpot of the Week promotion. You have a unique opportunity to get the weekly jackpot. Look for the conditions on the promo page, complete simple tasks, and get the chance to win a lump sum. We also remind you about registration on the website or in the 1xBet app with the promo code JJackpot to get a bonus of up to 2,650 Ghana cedis.
Well, do you lead a corporate business, a global subsidiary, or run the affairs of a small or medium enterprise? As a key decision maker in your business, we know you want to make payments seamlessly and access real-time transaction data whether you're at work or on the go. Well, Standard Chartered provides the digital key to help unlock your business potential. That key is Straight to Bank, a single access end-to-end digital platform that helps you manage the needs of your business on the go. View transactions, pay your business partners and government institutions through Ghana.gov, facilitate real-time payments and collections with the latest encryption technology and security. Elevate your banking experience today with Straight to Bank, our award-winning digital banking platform powering payroll, cash management, trade, and securities. You can always bank on us. Kindly email premierservice.gh@sc.com to sign up today.
And DSTV, it's all of the Premier League, all on DSTV. Catch all the goals, moments, clashes, derbies, and drama. Make sure to stay tuned to all of Rashford, Haaland, and Saka. Watch it all on full live in HD with the option of an exciting commentary. Enjoy all this on a package of your choice. No one else offers all of the Premier League but DSTV. So get your DSTV decoder with 1 month Compass subscription for just 299 Ghana cedis, or stay connected on star 759 hash to enjoy it all. DSTV, it's your moment.
Great, thank you. So, what, Morocco won
They did. So they are going to the Olympic Games alongside, of course, the finalists. They defeated Egypt and then Mali. So those three are the teams that will represent Africa at the Olympic Games next summer in Paris. But we start from Turkey here on the Joy Sports Center with me, Tahir Fentu. That's where Hatayspor played their first game of football 5 months after the devastating earthquake hit Turkey. And former Black Stars winger Christian Achu was amongst those who lost their lives, and Hatayspor made sure not to forget the man. They played a 1-1 draw with English side Hull City. Their owner is Turkish, of course, and Turkish journalist Kadir was there and sent us this report.
Before this match, There was a ceremony on the pitch that was a 1 minute silence for the earthquake victims. And the manager of Hatayspor held the jersey of Christian Atsu in his hands before the game while giving the photograph to the press. And also the revenue of the tickets of this game will be donated to earthquake victims.
As Turkish journalist Kadir there on the Christian Atsu Ana over the weekend in Turkey. Back in Ghana, a whistleblower has alerted FIFA of ethical violations by GFA President Keto Kreku. In the 17-page document submitted to FIFA and seen by Joy Sports, 21 people have been labelled as cronies of GFA President, who is being accused of nepotism and conflicts of interest.
There are 3 top-level GFA officials in the list of names submitted to FIFA. GFA General Secretary Prosper Harrison Ado, who helped Ket Okreku win the famous Danogoza Kujo Mensah change of name case, which developed in 2015, has been described as a long-standing friend of Ket Okreku. The GFA's communications manager, Henry Asante Chum, who served as communications manager at Dreams FC, co-owned by the FA president, has also been described as an associate, and while Black Stars team manager Aminu Shadu also serves as general manager and administrative head of Dreams FC, there is one FA position which has been described by the whistleblower as a complete departure from the normal GFA structure. That position is the GFA Chief of Staff and is currently occupied by Michael Osekre, club owner of Vision FC, feeder club to Dreams FC. The GFA president's biological sister, Winifred Okreku, now Mrs. Winifred Maudeku, is also the director of the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence.
Very interesting times ahead indeed. 24 people actually were named as people related to the GFA president that he's appointed, and that petition will now be looked at by FIFA. Aside nepotism, the GFA president has also been accused of other counts of forgery and falsification, conflicts of interest, abuse of position, duty of loyalty, and manipulation of football matches or competitions. And should FIFA determine the claims are true, it will be the second time in 5 years a GFA president will be implicated by the World Football Governing Body. So what does this mean for the current image of Ghana's football? Here's Jerome Ochri, a sports journalist.
To the extent that someone sees certain things in the administration of our game and feels that those things do not augur well for the game's development and therefore decides to go to FIFA, citing relevant articles in FIFA's Code of Ethics. I've read the entire petition. I find the point about forgery and falsification very interesting. Issues of conflict of interest and the rest are things that we have seen with our eyes, but whether or not they are actually in breach of the Code of Ethics, governing the game, is another matter. And I would love to wait and see what FIFA will say.
That's Jerome Ochri. And later today in Kumasi on the KNUST campus, that's where all the football people would gather for their ordinary Congress. It's the 29th session. And expected to be voted upon at this Congress are some proposals for the GFA term of office to be increased from 2 terms to 3 terms. Stephen Zando is our correspondent.
All delegates to Congress have been served with the convocation containing the agenda, activity report, audited accounts, and any other relevant documents. Approval for the nomination fee for the upcoming GFA election is expected to feature prominently at Congress today, as well as the roadmap for the election. Proposed 3 terms for a GFA president, GFA account, and a host of other matters will be tabled at Congress, expected to commence later this morning at 9 a.m. According to the FA, the decision to hold this year's Congress in Kumasi is to show appreciation to the football-loving community in Kumasi and to encourage others to accept the GFA's rallying call for fans to bring back the love in the country.
Stephen Zando of Love FM in Kumasi. We have updates of the Congress throughout the day on all of our stations across the country, here on Joy FM for sure, and our website, myjoyonline.com. More Ghana football, and the Black Satellites, they surrendered the lead to Niger in stoppage time of the WAFL B Cup of Nations opener in Cote d'Ivoire. The Black Satellites led from first half after Mustafa Yakubu rifled in a free kick, and Ghana looked to close the game in the second half, but with 6 minutes into additional time, Niger and short points were split. The Satellites will play Burkina Faso later today. Former Black Stars midfielder Emmanuel Lomote has been sent on loan to Cyprus top flight side Ethnikos Achna FC. The 25-year-old joins Ethnikos on a season-long loan, which will run until June 2024 from Swedish club Malmö FF as he seeks more playing minutes in the coming season. Meanwhile, Thomas Partey has resumed pre-season training with Arsenal amidst reports of an impending exit from the club. Partey has been linked with the move to Saudi Arabia, with fellow midfielder Granit Xhaka already joining Bayer Leverkusen last week. So athletics now, Shericka Jackson became the 5th fastest woman of all time as she clocked 10.65 seconds to win the 100 meters at Jamaica's national championships. It was the fastest time in the world this year, beating the 10.71 run by Sha'Carri Richardson at the US championships the previous day. Meanwhile, defending men's 100-meter champion Fred Kelly and 2019 100-meter champion Kristen Coleman will both not be competing in the 200 meters after they finished 4th and 6th respectively in the US trials. Ariel Knighting won a tightly contested race in which 6 men ran under 20 seconds, with Kenny Bednarek and Courtney Lindsay taking 2nd and 3rd respectively. And there was big shock in the 100-meter event as well in the US trials, with relatively unknown Craven Charleston beating Kristen Coleman and Noah Lyles to the title. And to Ghana athletics now, the team were in Togo. They amassed 24 medals to top the medal table at the just ended CAA Region 2 Senior Athletics Championships in Lomé over the weekend. Ghana won 14 gold medals, 8 silver and 2 bronze, competing in 8 different events at the 14-nation competition. The team arrived back in Ghana last night. Bao Fuseni is the CEO of Ghana Athletics.
What caught my attention, or what made me so proud of this team, is that the 400 boys, Raymond French and Solomon Diafo, did 45. It has never happened in this country that 2 local boys ran 45 in 400 meters. That's the first time it happened in the history of Ghana Athletics. Salam Adamu, the first ever junior athlete to have run 150 in the men 800 meters. Their performance was so excellent that everybody in the studio were asking, where do you get these guys?
So Ghana Athletics making Ghana proud. Also doing Ghana proud over the weekend was the country's U20 men and women's volleyball teams. You remember them? They embarked on a 72-hour bus ride to that competition in Niger. Well, they finished 2nd at the U20 African Volleyball Championships in both the men and women categories. The U20 girls lost in straight sets to Nigeria, while the men's team were beaten by Niger in a game Ghana volleyball officials have concerns with.
I will admit that the Nigerians are a better side. They are a world-class team. In fact, they are ranking 10th in the whole world. But in the case of the men's encounter, it was a deliberate act to just get us out of the way, because the French bloc will not want both trophies to come to English-speaking countries. I'm saying this because both officials in the final matches were French officials, and their decisions were so weird. Coupled with that, we did our best, but they decided to re-register 4 senior side players whilst the competition had already taken off. This is against the rules of CAVB, that's the African governing body. But strangely enough, they permitted it.
That's the Ghana Volleyball Association President, George Tete. Now, Morocco was crowned U23 Africa Cup of Nations title winners after they beat defending champions Egypt 2-1 in extra time at home in Rabat on Saturday. The North Africans became only the 4th nation to lift the trophy since the football tournament was launched in 2011. Morocco finished runners-up in the inaugural tournament, losing to Gabon 2-1 in Marrakesh. Egypt, they scored first before Morocco scored 2 more goals. Of course, one to take the game to extra time and the winner in extra time. Along with those 2, though, going to the Olympic Games will be Mali, who won the 3rd place playoff game. And speaking of U23, England, they are U21 champions for the first time in nearly 40 years after a dramatic last-minute penalty saved by James Trafford ensured the Young Lions held on to beat Spain. So it's a good time for English football at the moment. And before we go, some Wimbledon news. Belarusian Victoria Azarenka says it wasn't fair. She was booed off the court by Wimbledon fans after losing a thriller to Ukraine's Elena Svitolina. Svitolina has not shaking hands with Russians or Belarusians after the matches since the war in Ukraine started. So you can see already politics finding its way into sport. And before we go, Verstappen, yet again, another victory, cruise to victory in the British Grand Prix for his 6th win in a row and a record equaling 11th consecutive triumph for Red Bull. And that's the latest from the world of sports. Back to you, Winston.
Thank you very much, Fentu, Tahiru Fentu. But today is Michael Owusu's birthday. You know Michael Owusu?
Michael Owusu?
Oh, yes, Michael Owusu. Sarkodie.
Yes. You see, you can't just say Michael Owusu. You have to add
today's
the name is not complete.
Huh? So we have to give him a chaotic shout.
Yes.
K.
Well, since we are in the mood,
it's a
now. It's also the birthday of Larry Smith, my father, as well. Last week was my mother's birthday, you remember?
Yes.
And then today is my father's birthday as
your
well.
father doesn't have Al in his Smith.
No, it's a long story. It's just the children. So,
okay.
Big birthday shouts to my father, Larry Smith, as well.
Interested in that story.
Well, yeah, you should
so happy birthday to Mr. Smith.
For giving us Gary.
Al Smith.
Together with Mr.
The Smithlets.
Everybody, the younger ones.
Yes. The Smithlets, I like that.
Oh, big shouts to, when it's Sarkodie's birthday as well, it's always something I know because he shares a birthday with my father as well. Okay. Yeah, so big shout to Sark, man.
Yeah. Big shouts to him. From all of us, including George K, to you, Sarkodie.
As a Nigerian say, Sarkodie.
Sarkodie,
yeah. Man.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Fentu, Tahiru Fentu, for joining us with the latest in the world of sports. But let's get interactive this morning. Our social media messages here on the Super Morning Show brought to us by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, Ghana AIDS Commission. Test to know your HIV status and take steps to protect your health. Number 10 liver salt, a refreshing relief. And GTP Lifestyle. So does your assistant salary account give you more? Is your salary in the right account? Worry no more, because the EcoBank salary account is here to help you. Open an EcoBank salary account today and enjoy free life insurance, which covers temporary and permanent disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and death with the EcoBank salary account. You have the ability to save as you spend, free debit card access to loans and more. And the best part is you stand the chance to double your salary in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded from now till the end of July. So open an EcoBank salary account today by visiting an EcoBank branch or ecobank.com to open an account online for amazing benefits. Please beware of scammers who may contact you on this offer. Visit an EcoBank branch or call EcoBank toll-free on 0800 003 225 for further details on the EcoBank salary account and the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. Stay with us on return after these messages. We bring you food for thought brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. We'll be right back.
This one, Gantuan account.
Why are you running?
It's all about the EcoBank salary account.
EcoBank salary account. Why? You gonna make me fly?
I promise it will make your pockets rise. The salary account comes with many incredible benefits like free life insurance, which covers permanent total disability, critical illness, hospitalization, temporal disability, retrenchment, and death. Also save while you spend, access loans, get free debit cards, and the chance to double your salary and more in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded. It's starting from this May to July 31st, 2023. And there are so many other consolation prizes to be won.
Hey, no wonder my hand was itching. This is the perfect account for my salary.
So go ahead, open an EcoBank salary account today. You also stand a chance to win more than double your salary from 1st of May to the 31st of July in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is under the supervision of the National Lottery Authority under the Caritas Lottery Platform. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Home is where your heart is, so comfort is key. Find beds, bed sheets, sofas, cushions, fluffy rugs, and anything else you need to get cozy so it feels like home. Visit the Orca Deco Superstore on Spinkters Road today.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show. Time now for Food for Thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be
the difference.
Uncle, good morning.
How about you, sir?
Yes, Uncle.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. God is taking care of us. Hope you're fine too, and you had a lovely weekend.
Oh, we did. We did. God was very good to us. The show was very well received.
Oh, great.
So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to the patrons who came, and then also to announce that, as I'm sure you would announce after my presentation, that the show runs this weekend again.
Sure.
Friday to Sunday. So if you didn't catch it last weekend, you have a choice. You have a chance to catch it this weekend.
I'll be there this weekend.
Okay, I'll suspect you.
I'll come see it maybe on Sunday. I think Sunday will do. Yeah.
You know, the challenge with fixing the show for Sunday for somebody like you is that knowing your schedule, something can come up, and then that will be the last chance.
Yes, but I'll try. But also, you know how the days are sometimes. I will see. Maybe I could do a Saturday. I'll talk to Madam and see.
Yeah, the chief of staff of your house.
You see, we don't have a say until we go and consult.
Well, I would say yesterday was the birthday of a very special lady, a member of my household, lawyer Joyce Mason.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday was her birthday, so happy birthday to you, Joyce. And also, Sarkodie, happy birthday to you. Today is his birthday, right?
Yes, today is his birthday.
All right. I have a very special relationship with Sarkodie, which I won't put on there. So, happy birthday to you, Sak.
Sure.
I would say this month, I turned 69. And between now and the 20th of July, which is my birthday, I want to share my life with you. I will be bringing you presentations that tell you things about me that you may not know. So here is the first of Uncle Ebo at 69 presentations. Okay. Here we go. The year was 1969. The results of the common entrance exam had just come in and I had passed. The common entrance exams was a big deal in those days, especially for those of us who attended public elementary schools, otherwise known as Saito. The pass rate for candidates from Saito schools was poor because even though the standard of teaching in Saito was very high in those days, the teachers did not focus on preparing pupils for exams.
Okay.
I remember that in my case, the school did not organize any special classes for the common entrance candidates. And of course, there was no mock exams. You see, Saito in those days focused almost exclusively in preparing pupils for the Form 4 Leaving School Certificate exam.
Sure.
And the common entrance exam was not a priority for Saito, at least not for the South Centreso LA Middle School that I attended. And the poor results for common entrance for the school was the evidence of that. Now, as I was saying, the year was 1969, and the results of the common entrance exam had just come in and I had passed. You can imagine that it was a big deal for me and for the school because only 3 candidates from my class of 48 passed.
Wow, really?
Yes. The prospectus of Osu Presby Secondary School, the first choice school chosen for me by my teacher, Miss Comey, had been sent to me. Now, if you have been following my presentations on this platform, you will remember that Miss Comey, my middle school Form 3 teacher, was the one who paid for me to write the common entrance exams. And so she got to choose the schools for me.
Sure.
I needed passport-sized pictures to attach to the forms. And to get these, I had to go to Edum in Kumasi, where the pinhole cameras were for the picture to be taken. I would say, you remember pinhole camera?
Yes.
Did you ever have to use one?
No.
Yeah. It was for those of you old enough to remember the pinhole camera, you will remember that it was not an instant one. You sat still in front of the camera and just waited as your image was captured in slow motion by the contraption. It took time, but nobody thought it was inconvenient or anything like that because it was what was available in those days.
Sure.
Now, I want you to understand that I was happy on this occasion. I was going to secondary school, a prospect I had written myself out of after the death of my father the previous year. So going to secondary school was a huge deal in my time, and I was going to secondary school. And so sitting in front of that pinhole camera, waiting for my image to register, I was at my happiest. Now, the pinhole camera was not operated in the privacy of a room, but on the curb of the streets, and everyone passing could see you. Usually, they just walked past, but in my case, a woman passing took one look at me and said in a loud voice, in Twi, "Krachi, Sriye." In other words, Krachi, smile. Why would you frown for a picture? What are you angry about? You are taking a picture, smile. And she walked away. I would say I was shocked by her comment. I had frowned. I had an angry look on my face. I was at my happiest. So how could she say that I looked angry? That was the first time I discovered that I had a problem with my face, or more specifically, with the expression on my face. From that day, I began to be interested in my facial expression and found to my horror that the expression on my face never matched my mood.
Okay.
I am usually happy inside, but it never reflects on my face. The default expression on my face is stern, no matter what I am feeling. There has not been once that I have looked into a mirror or any reflective surface that the look on my face has not shocked me because it has not been consistent with what I was feeling. This has cost me a lot in life. It has put people off. Even my own staff members will tell you that there have been times they wanted to approach me or engage me in a discussion or a conversation, and they had taken one look at my face and gone back, telling themselves that the timing was bad. In fact, at a recent staff retreat, the staff confessed that they have a code among themselves. Whoever saw me first when I arrived at the office sent a message to the rest of the staff on the state of my face. And it was usually "and then yet," meaning today is not good. This then told the staff to stay away from coming to me with any personal matters or with any difficult issues because the expression on my face told them that I was already in a bad mood and it would not be wise for them to bring anything to me that would compound that mood.
Okay.
I had to tell my staff this common entrance pinhole camera experience to assure them that the expression on my face, for reasons that are difficult for me to explain, never matches what I am feeling inside. How many people my facial expression has driven away from me, I have no idea. But if my own staff, who have worked with me for years, could be put off by it, then I shudder to think how much this burden of my life has cost me. To remind my staff to always look beyond the expression on my face, I had to print T-shirts for all of them with my face on it and with the words, Ende Iye. In other words, today is a good day. So, if you have ever been put off by the expression on my face, please remember that, please forgive me, but understand that you got it wrong. I've had a hard life, but I dwell in a happy place. My default mood is one of gratitude to God for life. One of my favorite hymns have the following words. Through all the changing scenes of life, in trouble and in joy, the praises of my God shall still my heart and tongue employ. And Abba, say that is the first of the Uncle Ebo at 69 presentations.
I'm waiting patiently for the rest, and I know how excited you are that you're turning 69.
Yes, I am.
By the time you turn 69, Mama Vio Usu Abuaji will be here.
Okay.
Yes, she likes that number, 69. So
it's my favorite number.
Oh, okay.
It's my favorite number, and really, if I put you under oath, I'm sure you'd also confess that it is a good number for you too.
Uncle, on that note, thank you very much. No oath today. Well, that's food for thought brought to us by Roverman Productions, Be The Difference. So let me tell you about the Roverman Productions' latest play, I Like What You Like. And that's Roverman Productions in partnership with Joy FM and the National Theatre, exciting you once again with another brand new and hilarious Ebo-wide play, I Like What You Like. Now, ever since Chrissy fell from Grace Iris, his wife, has had to take the cost of running the home. But an unexpected announcement turns Chrissy's dreadful morning into a very exciting one and sets him on an adventure he's not ready for. Now, imagine her frustration when wealth comes knocking and he's taking his time to answer the door. How will he be able to handle the stress and pressures of gold unseen? I Like What You Like is a test of integrity, faith, love, and honor. And the play comes over at the National Theatre this weekend. That's from the 14th to the 16th of July as follows. Friday at 7 p.m., one show only. Saturdays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., two shows only. And Sundays at 1 p.m., 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., three shows. That is Roverman 1, 2, 3. You can't miss a play. Rate is 150 Ghana Cedis. Tickets are available now via Koba short code *365 *535 hash, and at the usual outlets front desk of Joy FM, Shell Shops at Tema Community 11, Airport, East Legon, and Dansoman, as well as Total Shops at Bachuna, Hachu, and Frankie's at Osu. You can also visit the Roverman Productions pages on Facebook and Instagram or call 0505 546 010. WhatsApp 0505 546 030 for enquiries. Sponsors Ebony Condoms, Gino Tomato Mix, and GCB Bank PLC. Communications partner M Notify and logistics movers Roverman Productions. Be the difference. And it's now time for the Joy Business Minute, brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you, and Magdan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and Magdan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution. The coalition of individual bondholder groups has criticized government for the lackadaisical attitude towards payment of principals. The coalition will begin picketing the finance ministry tomorrow, July 11. Interest rates continue to surge on the money market to nearly 30% as the government recorded a 31% oversubscription of treasury bills. The Bank of Ghana has signaled its intention to still go ahead with the targeted dollar support for bulk oil distribution companies to support fuel imports. This is despite proposals from the International Monetary Fund that the central bank should take steps to suspend the program. And China's factory gate prices fell at the fastest pace in over 7.5 years in June, while consumer inflation was at its lowest since 2021. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and Magdan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution.
Welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us. So do you have cash reserves or investments and require security of your investments? Then CBG Custody Account is your best bet with a minimum of 10,000 Ghana cedis in cash or in investment. Individuals, pension funds, mutual funds, companies with reserve funds, NGOs, international funds and investment firms can open a custody account with CBG and enjoy the best of experience with our state-of-the-art technology and digital offerings, robust control and secured systems, swift settlement and transaction processing protocols, no transaction cost, unbeatable custody fees, and excellent customer services. Visit any of CBG's 114 branches nationwide to open a custody account. For further inquiries, contact us on 0302216000. Email us at talktous@cbg.com.gh or visit any of our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, we stand with you. And on Big Stories this morning, brought to us by Vodafone, Further Together, latest phone, your partner for life, and Belmonte by CPL developers the ultimate luxury experience, and Access Bank, your number one remittance bank. Access Bank, more than banking. Our focus is on the media. We continue the conversation started on Saturday on Newsfile during the Joy Change Speakers series. So many of you have asked that question. You've talked about the media. You've asked about, the premise, promise, and prospect, and you've talked about the role of the media in national development. But on Saturday, well, a conversation ensued, and many of you have been talking about this.
The challenge that we have in this country is we're often over-certified but underskilled. Journalism is an industry that requires practical application in order to test your skill set.
So that's Esther, who is a media consultant. She also had this to say, still on the media.
We are in the era of narrative as information. We are in the era where opinion is treated as research.
So let me tell you more about the Vodafone Edem promo, which is finally here. But we continue with the conversation. Has the media lived up to its expectation? Has the media played a major role in Ghana's development? Would you say the media's role in national development has been positive? What's been the media's impact? Let's get interactive. Let's do an assessment of the Ghanaian media. I want to hear you do an assessment of us. Join us on Twitter. Use the hashtag JoySMS. But the Vodafone Edem promo is finally here. Receive up to 20% of your money back in your Vodafone cash wallet when you recharge with 5 Ghana cedis or more. So here's 2 more reasons to keep your conversations going with the Edem promo. You can even send credit to a friend and they too will receive up to 20% instant cash. Shall I recharge with 5 Ghana cedis and more from your preferred short code, your Vodafone cash wallet, credit transfer, My Vodafone app, or other preferred payment platforms? The higher you recharge, the more you get back. Keep reloading in the Edem promotion and win with Vodafone. Vodafone, further together. And if you're looking for a 1-seater, 2-seater, 3-seater sofa crafted to the finest details and available in various colors for your home, office, or hotel. If you're looking for comfort, durability, quality, and that perfect finishing, then look no further because Latest Foam is your one-stop shop. Whatever your choice or budget, buy from the best, not the imitated. Buy Latest Foam. Latest Foam is your partner for life. So welcome to Belmonte, where luxury meets comfort. If you're in the market for a home that combines class, convenience, and comfort, then look no further than Belmonte. Belmonte is located in the prime East Legon area of Lagos Avenue, and the Belmonte stylish apartment offers first-class luxury and cutting-edge finishing. So whether you're looking for an executive studio suite, a cozy 1-bedroom apartment, a spacious 2-bedroom apartment, or a custom villa, we've got you covered. But that's not all. Belmonte also offers a range of top-notch facilities to relax and keep you entertained. So why wait? Take that first step towards your dream home today. Sign up for our 3-year payment plan and own your property today. Contact us on 0204 343 011 or 0204 343 015. Belmonte is developed by CPL. All right, stay with us. There's more after these messages here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Hey, you ever buy credits where you get up to 20% of your money back before? Make I tell you about Vodafone's demo promo. See, anytime you recharge a demo, you get up to 20%, whether it be short code or your Vodafone cash wallet, or you don't use credit transfer to your number or someone else. Now you be high tech, so you don't use my Vodafone app or any payment app. However you do, Vodafone go send you up to 20% cash back. Into your Vodafone cash account. We'll reload it, but then you enter. Top up your time with 5 Ghana CD or more in Vodafone's demo promotion and receive 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone demo promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Comfort, durability, finishing, quality. Choosing sofas and beds for your home, office or hotel couldn't be easier with an exclusive range of sofas and beds in various designs and colors from Latex Foam. There is so much choice whatever your budget. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
It's morning in Africa. It won't be bright for another hour or two. The continent is already on the move. Trade is kicking up and spirits are high as the continent prepares to move yet another 1 million tons of goods to markets across the seas. It's the hour for making tea and coffee, of cotton bales, splitting wood, diamonds in metal boxes, and tall buildings going up. The train engines are revving up, factories are opening, and big undersea cables are pushing the continent alive. 4 time zones, 1 million opportunities, and vibrant young professionals 100 million strong. It's morning in Africa, and one bank is opening the door to endless opportunities. With seamless Pan-African payment and trade solutions and presence in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, we are Africa's gateway to the world.
Access, more than banking.
In partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM, Roverman Productions present I Like What You Like, an original Ebo White play.
Hey, Kwesi Trumpet, what kind of misfortune follows you so much that when your rich auntie dies in the US, the only thing she leaves you is her ashes? Boy, you won't keep that thing in this household. Put it outside the gate and regard it as wakekeeping. Or you can use it for tea. You know, your share.
Well, his auntie named him a sole beneficiary to her.
I am his wife. How much is it worth?
Roughly $350 million.
What? Oh, Auntie Frida! Oh, Kwesi, we cannot leave her outside the gate. She will feel cold. Let us keep her on the dresser in the guest room and ensure she gets a befitting burial.
Shows at the National Theatre on July 7th, 8th, 9th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Friday at 7 p.m. Saturdays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sundays at 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. Tickets are on the short code *365 *535# and all the usual outlets. 150 Ghana cedis. Sponsored by Ebony Condoms, Gino, GCB, and M Notify. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
A bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish. Your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG. We stand with you.
You know, I still haven't told my husband. I'm afraid of his reaction.
Oh, I thought you said you would try to disclose your HIV positive status to him on your birthday.
I wanted to, but never got round to it. It just did not seem like the right time to say it.
Don't you want him to go and test to know his status too?
Of course I do. I am just afraid of his reaction. I am afraid he will walk out on me and quit the marriage.
But you can't be too sure of that.
You know, the other day when he heard HIV in the news, he referred to it as a bad disease. And I know a couple of people whose partners deserted them because they tested positive for HIV.
But it is also important for him to test for HIV and start antiretroviral medication if he is HIV positive.
So what should I do now?
Why don't we ask your HIV counselor at the facility for advice? Come on, let us call her and find out how best to disclose your HIV status to your husband and also get him to test for HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ghana AIDS Commission.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. On our arrival, we were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through an orientation on how best to enjoy the experience. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park. We saw zebras, sable antelopes, crown cranes, maras, silky chicken, emus, wallabies, deer, ponies, and so many animals. We watched the animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. Our tour guide told us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing. Then we took a break to have lunch in the beauty of the open space. All of this fun and activities for a starting price of 250 cedis, and it's free for children below 6 years. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before our sunset dinner by the campfire. We've had a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait to visit again. Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best. On Joy 99.7
Joy Change Speakers was held on Newsfile, and the conversation was about media and national development, the premise, promise, and practice. And look, many of you have been talking about what transpired over the weekend, and we're continuing that conversation right here on the Super Morning Show. Manasseh Azuri Awine has joined us on phone. He's the editor-in-chief of the Fourth Estate, and Evans Mensah will be joining us via Zoom too shortly. Manasseh, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston, and thanks for having me.
Great. So over the weekend, great conversation about the media and development, the premise, promise, and the practice. We're going to be listening to some of the speakers, but first, your general view on, comments that were made on Saturday.
Generally, I think they discussed mainly the issues that impede the media, and a lot of it focused on the problems or why some or most of the speakers think we are unable as journalists or media practitioners to live up to our calling. But I feel that there is more to it than perhaps a lot of them were able to bring out.
Okay. Now,
I'm speaking as a practitioner.
Okay. Manasseh, just hold on a minute. Let's listen to what really transpired. For those who may have missed it, we're bringing you excerpts of it. You'd hear from Professor Amin Al-Hassan, who is Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and Estama, who is a media consultant. Listen to these two. Then when we return, we continue with the conversation.
The report speaks about the skills of journalists, right, and the lack of them. The challenge that we have in this country is we're often over-certified but under-skilled. Journalism is an industry that requires practical application in order to test your skill set. If you may be able to present a beautiful paper if I give you 2 weeks. Can you present a quality story if I give you 2 hours? The practical reality of the market of journalism as it relates to its currency, which is the actual journalist, we're talking about the working market, requires an elevating skill set that is absent in the model that we have. Because if the model requires that ad revenue is your primary source of profitability, but we know from the report the journalists are paid very, very badly, then who in this sector is making any money? Who? That is a very important question that we have to ask. That's the first question. The second question is then, if journalists are not making money, what is the currency of the model? And the currency of this model is about power. And how that power can persuade, motivate, transform, and engage. The fact that the ownership in the model sits in politically partisan hands is about controlling how power moves when it comes to information. What does that transform into? So you have unskilled labor in an industry that requires skills to perform at the highest level. When I think about the market of journalists, the training that is required to become a journalist is woefully inadequate. I have taught journalism all over the world. I am a practitioner, but I do not have a doctoral degree. I do not have a PhD. I do not have a master's. That is not my experience. I have worked in multiple markets and I have experience at the highest level. The first time I was ever challenged to teach was in Ghana. The very first time. Over-certified, but under-skilled. They required my certification, but they were not willing to acknowledge my skill set. That's one part. What does it mean if your industry is a respecter of certification and a negator of your skills? It creates this environment where people pursue the certification, but they're not paying attention to what the skills looks like. The reality of narrative versus the illusion of information. We are in the era of narrative as information. We are in the era where opinion is treated as research. And we are in an era where opinion and narrative is what constitutes news. Even though What we say is we want to offer you credible information. We want to offer you objectivity. Those are things that in the evolution of the market has completely transformed.
We have too many TV stations, too many radio stations. It is so because there is an existing subsidy of the private media, very huge subsidy. It happened because there was policy indecision on this particular space. So the national DTT is funded by the taxpayer. And all those who are on it literally for free for the past 5-6 years. They don't pay anything. You don't find that anywhere. Now, I would say that the reaction of the Ministry of Communication to impose some payment on the DTT itself, well, it needs more consultation and some agreement on how much to pay. But the reason why we have oversupply of media in this country, because the private sector is largely highly subsidized by the taxpayer. We are all aware. If you are not aware, please take your remote control and scan your TV channels. You come across what we call police TV. Now, let's step back and go back to the Constitution and go back to the laws and go back to the reasoning behind certain Supreme Court decisions and extract what is a state broadcaster. It is simply an institution that was founded with state resources and is funded with state resources. That is how you can understand. And when you say this today, every Ghanaian calls, oh, that is GBC, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. But if the Ghana Police Service, for example, which depends on 100% state funds to operate, uses part of the allocated state resources to start a television station, and it starts to typically act as if it is in the business of broadcast journalism. I've seen some content on their channel where a policeman in dress with police uniform with a camera and a mic doing vox pop in communities on the channel, literally mean what we would define as broadcast journalists. Should we then call the police TV station a state broadcaster? If so, why is it not under the direct supervision of the National Media Commission? How could it be licensed or rather better still, authorized to broadcast without recourse to the National Media Commission? Now, I'm raising this as an example to show how, and I know a lot of state institutions are applying to the NCA for authorization to broadcast. Then it opens up for discussion. Will the conditions placed on the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, because it is a state broadcaster, will these conditions be also placed on these state entities that are broadcasting?
So welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. And today we are continuing with this conversation, media and national development, the premise, promise, and practice. Manasseh Azuri Awini is editor of the Fourth Estate, editor-in-chief of the Fourth Estate. He's joined us on phone. Evans Mensah, who is a senior editor here at the Multimedia Group, the Joy Newsroom, will be joining us on Zoom shortly. So, yes, Manasseh, you've heard the speakers, some of the speakers during the forum. You've talked about some of the things you agree with and those that you disagree with. First, let's start from what you agree with. Then we'll get into your disagreements. Hello, Manasseh?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes, I tend to agree with everything that the Director General of GBC said. I think we don't need this number of radio stations or media organizations in such a small country. The first time I mentioned the number of radio stations in Ghana, in the Star Newsroom in South Africa, where I was doing my internship in 2012, they were so surprised. So I agree with that. I also tend to agree with part of Esther Ama's statement that talks about the other systems. If you're talking about low remunerations and others, it's a fact that there are very great journalists who are leaving the newsrooms because the kind of work you do, the kind of emotional and psychological trauma you subject yourself to as a journalist does not commiserate with what you take home at the end of the month. So when people get frustrated, they tend to leave for better paying jobs. So to that extent, I agree.
Now, what do you disagree with?
Well, I disagree with the notion that we are overcertified and less skilled or underskilled. I sincerely believe that we need more to do in terms of skills training. We need more practical training. To that much, I agree. But I don't think the average journalist in Ghana is overcertified. I also, from my experience as a practitioner, I don't know which media house or which entity demanded certificate over her skills. So I cannot comment on that. And whoever did that may not even know why they are in that media organization. If the person is the HR manager or whatever. But from my experience, that is not a reality. I completed the Ghana Institute of Journalism in 2010. Until date, all the places I've worked, nobody demanded my certificate. I got the job before they asked me to bring my CV or other things, just for the formality. Okay. It was based on the work I had done. We've also had very great broadcasters in this country who were employed mainly because of their skills. I don't think the time Komla Dumo came to Joy, he had a degree in journalism. We know of Kojo Oponkruma, who did great on the Super Morning Show. Bernard Avle did something else at the University of Ghana. I have an article online in which I mentioned that consistently stations like City and Joy FM employ their young reporters from the University of Ghana. And it is because they are able to do some internship with Universe and get the skills. So the Joy newsroom, as we speak, Akable, Agbagba, we have the likes of Ernest Kojumenu doing great and excellent journalism who do not have certification in journalism. They were employed because of their skills. The list can go on and on. So to that extent, I respectfully disagree with the statement that we focus on the certificate and not the skills. With my experience and what I have seen in the media landscape in general, the facts do not seem to support this claim.
Okay. Hold on a minute, Manasseh. I'll get back to you. Let me bring in Evans Mintz and get his general views on the media and national development. The conversation was about the premise, promise, and actually the practice. Evans, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, yes, I can hear you clearly. I hope you're doing very well. Now, let's get straight into it and find out the role of the media in national development. And over the weekend, the conversation was about the premise, promise, and practice. That today in Ghana, would you say that the media has played the role that is expected of the media? Would you say, for instance, that you have the right personnel within the media? Would you say there are the right skills within the media? And these right personnel and skills are enabling the media to perform its role?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, largely, like every part of our economy, there are challenges with the way, I guess, every facet of this country in terms of various sectors deliver their output. But if you come to the media, I mean, I look at it over the period, say in the last 2 decades that I've been practicing. I mean, I have started practicing way back in the 2004. If I look at the quality of journalism that we had then, we had some very great journalists at that time. And when I came in, Martha Santis, Komla Dumont, etc., who helped all of us grow. And of course, over time, I mean, a lot of these great hands moved on. The Kweku Sechados, etc. If you look at what we have now, we have a bit more diversity in terms of what we've seen on the media landscape. In terms of also the quality that we are seeing in the media landscape, that has also improved. When I got in, a lot of the folks who were practicing journalism at the time, if you look at educational qualifications and background that they brought to it, it was basically diploma, a lot of them. And between at that time, if you look at it, the Ghana Journalism, the GIJ, which was the almost a sole institution for training journalists exclusively, then was only issuing diplomas at the time. I think it was just I was the second batch that had gone in to do the degree. So a lot of the folks coming out of there had the diploma. But even look at now, Winston, a lot of my colleagues who are practicing journalism today are getting higher educational qualifications. Yourself, myself, in the newsroom, everybody else is going to school. And improving their own academic laurels, getting further education. So the diploma is no longer good enough. In fact, practice, which Manasseh has just been talking about, which really is the order of the day now, not your certificate. The practice is even not enough. People are still, after practicing, still want to go to school and improve themselves and come back and still practice journalism. I am an example of that. Manasseh is still in school right now doing a fellowship. And just to answer your question, just looking at that, you have now people who are doing journalism who are very highly educated, in addition to having the practical skills to deliver. If you just look at that alone, that should tell you that there is a setting education revolution happening on the media landscape. Gone were the days when they used to accuse journalists of being school dropouts who had nothing to do, and so they go to GIJ and come out and just chase after solid at events. That significantly is changing now. That culture is changing, and so yes, if you look at that has translated to more critical journalism as we have it now. I believe we have a more critical media space. We don't have enough media houses doing that, but in terms of individual journalists coming out, there's a more. I see folks coming to the Joy newsroom every day. Yes, the bit of a challenge, but the culture gets you to be a bit more critical. And so, yes, I believe there's still challenges. But overall, in terms of the quality, I will submit that we've seen an improvement over the period. Okay. A more diverse landscape than what it used to be in the past, where you had a few really, really good journalists. Now we have a bit more. The field is broader with more people in, very educated, very qualified to do the job.
Okay. Thank you very much, Evans. I'm going to ask you a question shortly, but let me just say that let me welcome our friends who are listening to us in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM. We're having a conversation about the role of the media in national development. We're focusing on the premise, promise, and the practice. It started on Newsfile on Saturday. I mean, you've talked about, Evans, you talk about how in the past you had persons with diploma from the Ghana Institute of Journalism. Today you have, journalists who are, very educated. But that's seen by many as actually a challenge, because the focus now is on over-certification and not the skill needed to be a journalist, Evans.
No, but that's also not true. I'm talking about the education bit to emphasize that, and the group of individuals I'm talking about who are educated are people who are practitioners first, who want to now upgrade and add a bit more educational solidity to what they do. It only makes you better. I'm not talking about people who come in with masters. Of course, you have people who come in with masters, and that is not even the main considering factor when you are employing people into the media now. I mean, currently in the newsroom that I operate, rarely do we ever put out an advertisement and say, bring your certificate. It's all about practice. It's all about doing. It's rarely about your qualification. The point I was making earlier is now we have practitioners who are eager, thirsty, hungry to, after practicing, go to school, get a bit more education, further education, and come back and add that knowledge to the practice. That's the point I'm making. I practiced for 2 years before I went to do my master's. Manasseh has done further education in addition to the practice that he's done. Yourself, I mean, you've done journalism for so long. You're actually now doing a PhD, right? You're still a practitioner. I mean, that's the point. That's the point I'm making. Compared to the past, when it was just come in, do the journalism and do it well. Yes, the practice was good. Now we have that in addition to further education. And that's why I'm saying that for me, if you combine both, you're getting far more qualified practitioners who are no pushovers. They know what they're doing. You can't just dismiss a journalist now, the typical journalist in the newsroom, of being a school dropout who is just all they know is to practice journalism and be good at it. They actually also gone to school and other proper knowledge to what they do. So they are more diverse, broader. Their horizon is bigger and deeper. The depth is there. That's the point I'm making, Winston.
Okay. Let me bring Manasseh in at this point. I'll get back to you, Evans. And Manasseh, you made the point that, look, wherever you've worked, your certificates have never been asked for, maybe later on. And I remember, when I got in here, nobody asked me actually to present my certificate. They had looked at what I was doing in the past and said, okay, so come join us. But the other point is that today, a lot of people, and this concern has been raised, that you have journalists who just don't have the skills, Manasseh. Wouldn't you agree that today there are practitioners who get in there because of their certification or their qualification, i.e. certificates that they have, and not because they've been able to show that they can do the job?
I still do not agree, because we have only few media institutions in this country that are serious. So if we are having a discussion, let's have that discussion in that context.
Okay.
A political radio station that sets up and would accept anything is not the same as those that are set up to do journalism. The Joy FM, the City FM, the TV3, those media organizations that do journalism or practice serious media work in this country, the reality is they look out for talent and they push. And I can tell you that is not the reality. The other issue goes beyond just the certification. Journalism, like any other profession, in my view, should be calling. In that, if I want to use my own experience, in my first and second degrees, at the time, there was no investigative reporting. So my first degree and master's degree, not even once did I study investigative journalism in the classroom. So how did I do it? I think it is more about the character, the resilience, the seriousness, and the commitment one attaches to the work. And also about the media organization. The Media Foundation for West Africa set up the Fourth Estate about 2 years ago. Apart from myself, none of the reporters who are doing very great work today, none of them had done investigations before. But an environment was created, and there is a commitment and the investment in that branch of journalism.
Okay.
So they go to the Fourth Estate, and the average reporter is able to take up a story, investigate, and come up with very compelling and impactful results. So for me, the discussion should, or is more nuanced than just looking at the skill set. I will not disagree with anybody who thinks that we need to do more in terms of the training. We need to do more. We have to get better practical trainings. That, for me, it is a valid point. But if we want to pin down the deficiencies in our system to this kind of just one reason, that those who go out there don't know what they're about, I disagree. The environment is key. And the average journalist who is committed or dedicated to doing impactful journalism will tell you what they go through isn't pretty. And I tend to also agree with Evans Mensah that sometimes when we are evaluating the work of the journalist, we look at the lapses. But I can say that I have been in journalism for, let's say, 10 years, doing this investigative journalism. But my work, with all humility, has led to more prosecution and impeachment than the work of the Public Accounts Committee and that of the Auditor General of the Republic of Ghana for the beginning of the Fourth Republic till date. You speak to them and they'll tell you nobody has been prosecuted or jailed for corruption because of the Auditor General's report. Before I even came in, analysis work even led to more or greater results in that regard. So if somebody wants to just look at journalism and they want to look at, these are the challenges and we are not doing what we are supposed to do, I believe we can do more. But if you want to compare the results we are making, the modest achievements we've been able to make despite our difficulties, and then compare that with the resources that state institutions are given to hold other institutions and state officials accountable, I will say that journalists or the media in Ghana, we have done a lot.
Now, you've made a point. You've talked about training. You've talked about, at the time you started, there wasn't anything like investigative journalism or reporting. Now you've been able to, you set up the Fourth Estate with the Media Foundation for West Africa, and you've been able to train persons in investigative journalism. Based on that, you would agree that the skill set of journalists, some of these journalists would need more skills training, wouldn't you, Manasseh?
Yes, I agree. And I think I made that comment in my submission that if somebody says we need more, I agree. And I think the institutions are even doing more. From here, I'm going to the University of Ghana's Department of Communications to engage or have a class with their journalism students. At 1 o'clock, I'll be at GIG to take the level 300 students in investigative journalism. They are using a manual I've written. And so there are those efforts by the institutions, not only to teach what they know, but these days they make the conscious effort to bring practitioners to the classrooms, which I have done extensively in some of these institutions. So I will say that we need more investment, and it doesn't go for only journalism alone, but in our educational system. But that is not to say that everything that is thrown at us, we must accept it. I fully agree with what says we can do more. I fully agree with those that have identified lapses. But some of the statements or conclusions or assessments are sweeping and they do not reflect the reality on the ground.
Talking about reality, before I get to Evans, briefly on a point, the fact that today the media, some of them within the media, pass on opinion as research. You agree?
I have done stories, and I am one of the most opinionated journalists in this country. I write my opinions, and they are different from the stories I do. If you watch my investigations or my stories, you won't find opinions there. And I also know that some people resent journalists who sit on radio and express opinions. And I believe that in this day and age, that shouldn't be a problem, because journalists are not programmed robots to come on air and then pass on what others say. We have done this work, and we have certain experiences and expertise that should guide us, make informed opinions. If the opinion is shallow, if the opinion is not grounded in logic, you can attack that. But I don't see anything wrong with opinions. And also, if you look at the news that we watch or we read, I hardly see such ones. And here again, I want to say that we should distinguish between journalism and then just media practitioners or media organizations, because I hardly find opinion of journalists on Newsnight, on Midday News, or Prime, on Joy. I hardly find that on, let's say, City News. But on the morning show, they express their opinions. And I do not think that it is wrong for the journalists to express their opinion, because they do this work, or we do this work, and with the number of years we have, some of the information we cannot even quote anybody because of confidentiality and others. So I also think that is a bit far-fetched, and it may not reflect the general reality. We are talking about the proper newsrooms we have in this country, not those that are set up to do politics or to further the business interests of big corporations.
Okay. Let me bring Evans in at this point and get his view on a bit about, the media passing on opinion as research. Then we wrap it up with what he believes should be the role of the media going forward. Evans.
Yeah, I mean, Winston, what's the point of research if it's not to guide you in forming an opinion? That's the whole point of researching. You research, you get knowledge, and that knowledge helps you form an informed opinion. And that's what journalists are supposed to do. So I don't see the point when the argument is made. And again, this is an overgeneralization, that we are passing on opinion as research. Of course, every day, and Winston, you do that, and I do that too on PM Express. I do research with my team. We synthesize the research, we break it down, we present those facts, but at the end of that presentation, we come to a conclusion based on the facts that we presented. That conclusion is often an opinion, an informed opinion based on the research that we've done. So the two are linked in a way. They are linked. You cannot separate the two. You cannot have an opinion. Or let me put it differently. It will definitely be wrong, I believe, to have expressed an opinion that is not anchored on facts and research. That is where the problem is. Are there journalists doing that? Of course, you can find journalists doing that. But is it the case that every journalist in the media is doing that? Obviously not. And so that is a hasty and overgeneralization of what exists. And I think largely now we are having journalism that is grounded on facts and research. Yes, there is opinion that comes, but a lot of the media houses I've listened to on the morning shows, I hear them talk. You may say the research is sometimes not as sound, but they always want to draw a line between what they have discovered and how that then influences their opinion. So I really reject this overgeneralization of the facts that the media somehow it's passing on opinion as research, because I think that both are intertwined and linked very closely.
Okay, so let's get to this point now. The media is expected to ensure accountability. Evans, would you say the media has succeeded in demanding accountability from duty bearers?
I think that's where we could do a bit more. And I think in the last few years that we possibly aren't doing as much as we could. Because really, if you look at the Constitution, we're supposed to hold the government accountable to the people, which means that that is one of the areas where we should be investing more resources and empowering journalists to hold the government accountable to the people. But what has happened is that is one of the areas that is very, very difficult to do, because when you venture into that area, you have backlash and you have a bit of strong resentment, and it takes a lot. And Manasseh will tell you, it takes a lot to actually do that and do that excellently because of the challenges we've had. And just look at the World Press Freedom rankings that recently came out that ranked us not as high as we want to, because one, we are seeing journalists now self-censoring a bit more cautious in what they are doing. That has affected our ability to hold government accountable in the strictest sense of the word. So if there's a criticism there that we aren't doing enough, that I am ready to accept. But then also it's a challenge then for us as journalists to acknowledge that there's an expectation of us that we do this without fear or favor. And that's why at Multimedia we say we are fearless, we are bold, and we are credible, because we know that in doing that there's a cost to doing that. And I guess the real question that journalists need to ask themselves is, are you willing to bear that cost? And I think you're finding increasingly that media houses and journalists are weighing the cost and saying this cost is too high for me to bear. And therefore, they're not going in all out to do just that, which really is a key critical point that we need to be reevaluating. But then also, remember that we are serving an audience. And often we like to criticize the media, but we serve an audience. What is it? Is it that the audience currently, the public, is getting the media they deserve? Because often journalists do the job and they do it critically. And then you actually find members of the audience, the public, siding with the politician to take on a journalist who's done a very critical work, a very critical piece of journalism. And I will tell you how members of the public will join a bandwagon and criticize them and vilify you because you've done proper work. You finish an interview with a duty bearer and you are hard in that interview. You see the same audiences and the public coming to you to say you were not fair to him. You didn't allow him to speak. I mean, you were hounding him. And that then becomes a narrative instead of applauding the journalist doing that work. And and again, it's even there, I find sometimes double standards. You see, the Ghanaian media consumer who will watch Hard Talk and applaud the journalist for being tough and not allowing the duty bearer to even breathe. You do that in the same Ghanaian context, and the retort you get from your audience that you are serving and asking the questions on your behalf is that slow down for the politician, allow him to talk, allow him to land. You're being too critical. You are too tough in this conversation. Allow it to be a conversation. And that sometimes, if you don't have a strong journalist, begin to influence the way you carry out your responsibilities as a journalist, to hold duty bearers to account. And so, in as much as I agree that we need to raise that criticism of the media, I think it's time for the public, the audience, to also do a self-critique of what is it that they expect of the Ghanaian journalists. And is that expectation also sometimes part of the problem of influencing the kind of journalism and media work that they get?
Great, Evans. Hold on a minute. Let me get Manasseh's view. We'll wrap up just before 9. Manasseh, so the critical question here is whether the media has been able to, one, hold duty bearers accountable and show and they demand accountability for and on behalf of the good people of Ghana. Manasseh?
Yes, under the limitations, I think we are doing the best we can. And there should be a show one day to let us also tell the general public the difficulties we go through. Evans Mensah mentioned the same audience who criticize you, who applaud what others do, but would want you to be lenient on their politicians. And the work some of us have done has exposed us to a lot of dangers. People know the threats and the security challenges, but what they do not know is that some of us have had to undergo therapy with clinical psychologists because we're breaking down. And the question is, how many people are prepared to put their mental health, the security of their families, and even their own existence on the line in order to serve the public? And at the end of the day, what you take home cannot compare with the sacrifices you make. The other most difficult thing is risking your life to fight for the public, and then nothing gets done. The fourth essay did something on school placement for sale. At the end of the day, the Parliament claimed they invited the minister, but the minister didn't appear. Nobody knows what happened. So nothing was done about it. For the past 10 years, I have been drumming about some fraudulent contracts awarded to one of the most fraudulent businesses in this country. Akufo-Addo and his team, when they were in opposition, campaigned with it. In government, they are continuing those same fraudulent activities. And I'm saying it because I have the evidence to back it, and that so-called businessman threatened to sue me. I called him a coward, and he's not able to go to court. So I'm not just blowing hot air. These are documented facts. And nothing seems to happen. So sometimes you ask yourself, is it even worth it? When you do your part and nothing happens. And there are others who want to do the kind of work you are doing, but they are deterred because of these challenges. So if we want a media that will stand up and fight for us, we shouldn't behave like we did when Domelevo was hounded out. In a certain country, there would be demonstrations to topple the government if such a credible and serious Auditor General, the best in my view in the Republic of Ghana ever, was hounded out by a president who claimed to fight corruption, for which reason he voted for him. So the general public must stand up and support journalists and even public office holders who are doing the right thing. Otherwise, not many will be prepared to put their sanity, their health, their families, their security, and everything on the line to fight and engage in those thankless endeavors.
Wow. Guys, I know that you have other engagements, and so I'd like us to end it at this point. But let's wrap it up with you, Evan. So you've heard from Manasseh. You've both talked about Evans, you've said where you think the media can do more. What should the media do in that light going forward? Hello, Evans. Is Evans still with us? No. Okay. Okay, I think we've lost Evans. So let me just wrap it up with you, Manasseh. What should we do now going forward? Yes, we've identified the challenges and what you think we could more. I mean, so what do we do going forward?
I think media organizations should invest more in the critical reporting. I believe that not every media organization can do this, but the few that are doing it should keep it up. I also know there are challenges when it comes to funding, and certain governments and government officials are even able to tell certain private businesses not to advertise with certain media organizations doing critical work. So the media organizations should begin to find alternative sources of funding by sometimes writing to foundations and charities across the world that support this kind of work. And I think also that individual journalists should make it a point to stand out in what they do, because despite the challenges and the difficulties, if you do what is right, if you sacrifice, there are benefits for your media organizations, and there are also benefits for you, the individual journalist, because it sets you apart. And I don't think there's nothing more rewarding than knowing that the work you do can save your nation a lot of money. So I believe that a few media organizations that are set out or set up to do journalism, not just media practice, should be encouraged to do more. And that is the only way we can hold this country or our leaders to account, because we learned in our basic schools and even secondary schools about the separation of powers and all of that, but it isn't working in this country. Parliament has become a useless entity, and what they are supposed to do, they are not able to do it. And when you speak to the MPs, they will tell you there's over partisan consideration when issues come up, and then nobody is able to hold the executive to account. And if the media will fail, then it will be a field day for whoever gets into government to do whatever they want to do with our money and get away with it.
Manasseh Azuri Awene, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning here on the Super Morning Show. We're very grateful to you. He is the editor-in-chief of the Fourth Estate. Earlier you heard from Evans Mensah, who's senior editor here at the Multimedia Group. When we return after these messages, we want to hear from you also. So you've listened to Manasseh, you've listened to Evans, but of course you get to assess the media also and answer that simple question or ask that simple question do you think that the media has succeeded in demanding accountability for and behalf of the Ghanaian? When we return after these messages, we'll give you a chance to call in and tell us what your thoughts are. We'll be right back.
Are you hoping to start university this October? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and 50% scholarships to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless opportunities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our October 2023 intakes. Apply now for our foundation and undergraduate programs. For more information, contact us on +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Say donut, 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 donut. Hey, donut, 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 donut. Donut, donut. Then come cut up donut. Donut, donut. Malaria syrup donut. Everybody follow nut sa malaria. A 3D till no nut now. Won't malaria chill. Won't popo. What mean the day? I want the num donut. A dabako. Num donut. A damienu. Num donut. A damiensa. Num donut. Malaria syrup donut. No. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat ide scatter malaria.
A quality product from Blaze GVS Pharma. Yenhwehwemu hu se malaria wo mojam ansa na wanum Lonat. Na nam yensearch na malaria no daso wo ho a ko hu doctor.
This advert is FDA approved.
Now we go live in 3, 2, 1.
Airtel Tigo is now 80. It's Airtel Tigo. It's okay, Abna. Say Airtel, say Sadie. That you know simple cry. 80. Simple.
Tell your neighbor to tell a neighbor that your favorite telecommunication network, Airtel Tigo, is now 80. Simple. New name, but still provides you with affordable and reliable internet, clear calls, secure money services, and much more.
80. Life is simple.
Imagine say water wake up at dawn. You know buff, you know chop. Where it vanish for your area for 2 weeks. You not get one drop safe inside your tanku.
Hey.
Haja, our life was in dangerous. Only our neighbor gets water with water tank.
Water tank?
Yes, water tank. Mamma mia, that water tank gets meter for checking water level. That water tank be fine past Kumasi Selendion. That water tank be tough like Ghana Army. That water tank, they carry water pepe, so say some no go left inside the supply tank. What a tank! As my boss, Mr. Poncho, go talk.
Beautiful, durable, with water level indicator and accurate volume of water. Water tank. What a tank. By Duraplast.
If you get LPG, let me see your hand. Who I got?
Mr. Menu, I'm not happy with you, cry.
Oh, landlord, what is it?
Me, what is the problem? How can you allow your wife cook with charcoal and firewood? Don't you know smoke is harmful to your wife? Don't you have gas?
Oh, landlord, me, I've been using charcoal since so.
You're not current at all. Now every Ghanaian uses gas because it's safe and convenient. Just one matchstick, and you're good to go. Food cooks faster and the taste is retained.
Hey, landlord, be that.
You think I'm joking, New rule, no gas, no accommodation. Even you just paid your rent, And my friend, come for your money and leave my house.
Hey, landlord, if you make a mistake and you give me this money, I'm not going to move. I'm going to buy gas.
Like you will see.
Don't be left out. LPG is safe and convenient. This campaign is brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and supported by the Ministry of Energy and World Bank. Contact our toll-free number 080-012-300 for more information.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is all.
We're often over-certified but underskilled. Journalism is an industry that requires practical application in order to test your skill set.
Hello? Hello? But if the Ghana Police Service, for example, which depends on 100% state funds to operate, uses part of the allocated state resources to start a television station, and it starts to typically act as if it is in the business of broadcast journalism, should we then call the police TV station a state broadcaster?
And so, false propaganda, Nipa Bonifo, Taliban, Akaida, Wakanchi, Nancy, Mintina, Wakanti, and Yamunya Dajina Penamo.
We are in the era of narrative as information. We are in the era where opinion is treated as research.
We have too many TV stations, too many radio stations. It is so because there is an existing subsidy of the private media, very huge subsidy.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. So do you think the media has done well in holding public officials accountable for and on behalf of the people? What's your assessment of the role of the media in demanding accountability, which is very key for national development? That's a question I want you to answer here on the Super Morning Show. Join us now. The phone lines have been activated on 0302216541 or 055-1111-997. 055-1111-997. and 0302-216-541. Give us a call now and do your own assessment of Ghana's media and tell us whether you think the media is playing a major role in the development of Ghana. But Absa Bank says they know that life is go, 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 and that it's hard to make time for the things that really count, so they won't let banking get in your way. That's why with Absa's digital banking channels, you can bank anywhere and how you want, so you can focus on what or who is important to you. Banking has never been this easy. Transfer funds into your savings account, pay your old school union dues and your DSTV subscription, and many more with a click on your phone. Get things done simply with Absa's digital channels. Now, that's African Nicety. That's Absa. Terms and conditions apply. Visit absa.com.gh for further details. Now, the Sukasa Ogranson Communities Affordable Luxury Housing Project is now rolling out its affordable housing units on sale for its 3-bedroom unit with an outhouse starting at $97,500 or its city equivalent, and its 4-bedroom unit with an outhouse starting at $195,000 or its city equivalent. Now, we offer you various convenient payment options. Our projects are presently at East Legon Hills and Ayimensa sites, and we're located at Lagos Avenue in East Legon. Call us on 0302 60865, 0302 0302 960 865, 0302 960 865, or WhatsApp us on 0553 697886 for your enquiries. You can also reach us via email at info@sukasa.com.gh or on our social media handles as SukasaGH. Sukasa, building on trust. So the phone lines have been activated now, and you can now join us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Do you think the media has played a positive role in national development? Do you think the media has done well in holding public officers accountable for and on behalf of the people? This morning, what's your assessment of the role of the Ghanaian media in development, in the nation's development? You can get in touch with us now on 0302 216 541, 0302 216 541, and then 055 1111 997, 055 1111 997, and then 0302 216 541. Give us a call now and share your thoughts with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. So let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Park, which has introduced the Safari Wildlife Experience by creating an environment that fosters the harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife such as zebra, sable, antelope, llama, wallaby, fallow deer, and Pentagonian mara, and many others. So where everyone can come and experience these majestic creatures at a starting price of 250 Ghana cedis, and is free for children up to 6 years. Now, it's only an hour's drive from Accra and it opens from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Visit Safari Valley Eco Park with your friends and family today for the thrill of a lifetime. For more information, visit safarivalleyresort.com. Check out Safari Valley on Instagram or call 0596 9143 94, 0596 914394. Let's get on to the phone lines now. And Daniel is calling us from
Hello. Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, Daniel.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Great, Daniel. Go ahead and share your thoughts with us.
Thank you, sir. I'm surprised you media men are not accepting the criticism about you in respect of your biasness and the politicizing of your programs. Now, for example, there's been a lot of, let's say, news against the MPP or Akufo-Addo government of recent days. But then we don't hear anything of, let's say, segment housing estate. Very often we hear housing deficit in Ghana, and the pressure is being put on landlords to reduce their rent. But they don't talk of various housing projects which various governments have tried to embark on, for which no completion we haven't seen the light of the day.
Okay.
And I think there are very issues. Such issues must be featured on your programs, and probably the court also will also change their idea of delaying, issues or cases that come to them. Thank you,
Daniel. Before you go, you agree with me that you've heard us right here on the Super Morning Show have a conversation about housing, the affordable housing schemes.
Yes,
you've heard us make
the one which ended in Accra quite recently.
Exactly, you've
I've
heard us.
I've been following all your.
Yes,
program.
but you've also heard us talk about, for instance, how the state has been constructing what it deems as affordable housing.
That's a private project.
No, hold on a second. I'm talking about the government of Ghana. I mean, we've talked about the Saglemi housing scheme, for instance. We've talked about how 200 million Ghana cedis went into the construction of 5,000 houses. At the end of the day, there was a construction of 1,462 houses. We've done the calculation. We've discussed the national, mortgage, housing and mortgage scheme. We've had all of those conversations right here on the Super Morning Show. And we've brought Grader, everybody who matters in to have this conversation. But that's feedback for us. So I just felt that I should, let you have that, particular, information also as to what we've been doing.
Thank you for that. But what I'm saying is that, like the one you are referring to, when you air it, we don't hear of it again. So that's why I started that of the Siglet.
Okay. I get you. Thank you very much, Daniel, for your feedback. And I keep listening to the Super Morning Show. We're grateful. You can also reach us 0302-216-541 and then 0551111997. Would you say the media has played a major role in national development? Has the media been able to hold accountable public officials for and on behalf of the general public? What's your own assessment of Ghana's media in its role in the development of the nation? Let's still stay in Kumasi. Nana Kweku is from Kumasi. Good morning, Nana Kweku.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, Nana. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Great, Nana. Go ahead.
Yes, the media go ahead to criticize, but it's an institution that doesn't like to be criticized by people that listen to them. The tenets of a media should be to inform, educate, and entertain. That is IEE. But you know what? We now have some media houses that basically are just there to misinform, not entertain, and then miseducate people.
Okay.
There are issues that crop up in Ghana where media houses want to be the first person to air. Without media houses going a step further to authenticate that what an allegation is being said or by any politicians that go ahead to do this. Interviews to go in and they'll say, "Oh, I will send you." It's making an allegation. I will send you what I have seen. But if indeed the media houses do receive this supposedly documents, we don't hear it. But the person would have come in, said a whole lot of things, maligned people, and yet nothing is being done. And then the media house will never even come and say, "Look, what a person," or we allowed, or we conducted an interview for somebody to use our medium to propagate this was a lie. Nothing is done. And in fact, it hurts. And there are times, prime time, we have people coming in virtually to insult, supposedly thinking that they are doing media house. But if they are sanctioned, the media will then come in and say, "Look, you are gagging." But here's the situation: media houses, rather than, in fact, pointing to their colleagues that whatever you're doing or whatever you're using your medium to inform and miseducate, you should put a stop to it. They wouldn't do it. But if the government or anyone goes in then to start cracking the whip, you say, yes, global media, whatever it is, we are going down.
Okay.
So media houses, you should start looking to yourself, to educate yourself, so that things will go well for all of us. At the end of the day,
Thank you very much, Nana Kweku from Kumasi. Let's still stay in Ashanti region. Lots of you listening to us on Love 99.5 FM. Samuel from Obuasi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Samuel. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Great. Go ahead.
Two quick issues. Number one, some of us see the media to be supporting politicians to waste our resources.
Okay.
Why should I say so? I'll give you one or two examples.
Please go ahead.
Sami Jamfi will sit on TV, like Metro TV, and say, oh, MPP has not built even one school, secondary school from scratch. MPP has not built even one hospital from scratch and completed it. Now, if MPP decided to complete all the Mahama E-blocks, and media houses will allow Sami Jamfi to go like this, and sometimes somebody like Evans Mensah or even do PMS press on this, what do you expect politicians who win power tomorrow to do? They will abandon projects that were started by previous governments and do something said that another politician that is an opponent will not use that against them. So get principles, get standards, said that governance is a continuum. So if government A leaves and government B comes and is doing something to continue with the project that the previous government started, you will not allow anybody to sit on your station to maybe accuse the present government that, okay, this project was not started by you, so it's not yours. After all, it's the money belongs to the taxpayer.
Okay.
That's number one. The second one is that the media in Ghana today, a fraction of you, including Evans Mensah, that's what I see, seem to be working against the values of this country.
How?
The way sometimes your interviews and the rest project issues like LGBTQ, issues like, take this boy at Achimota School. With what happened and how you projected the boy and the issues surrounding him and the court issues, and even recently look at the National Science and Maths quiz. Before even the National Science and Maths quiz came out, issue about this boy with a rasta and now coming to feature in. So what are you trying to tell Ghanaians?
Okay.
That people who can go against even the values or even the school rules and regulations when they win court cases can study and then so one day LGBTQ students will form clubs in schools, and then when they go to court and they win, then they start introducing lesbianism and all those things in school.
Samuel, please hold on a minute. Now, the point you're making, you see, so you have a position, you have an opinion. Another person has a contrary view. My job, or the job of the journalist, is to hear those views. And so, yes, you may not like the other view.
I'm not the only one. I'm thinking about the minds of Ghanaians.
No, please hold on a second. The same way others do not like your views. But of course, our job is to listen to the views. So you have your view, he has his view, and then our job is done. Okay? It is not my job to take sides with you or take sides with the next person. Okay? So we have just given both sides. We could use research to form an opinion. And that is why in asking questions, you would hear us, for instance, say that the Afrobarometer says Ghanaians are against this. So why Ghanaians are, for instance, against LGBTQ? So why are people, in support of it? On the bit of an Achimota boy going to school with dreadlocks, the court has ruled that a guy should have education. After the court rules, what else do you expect the journalist to do? Not to report the story? Samuel, you'll be the first to say we are not being fair. Our job is to say that is the ruling of the court. I hope that you understand me. So we are not speaking against Ghanaian values. Okay, thank you very much, Samuel from Obuasi. You can also join us on 0302-216-541 and then 055-1111-997. I'd love to hear from a lot of you, critiquing the media. So let me get on to Twitter and pick a lot of your messages right here on the Super Morning Show. And this one at Eddie Queno says, journalism is not a profession of being friends. Journalism is a profession of agitation, you see. The public expects you to use your platform and megaphone to shine the light on issues of great concern. Somehow, some of you have become complicit with politicians. At Emmanuel Kaina says the Ghanaian media is not really there yet. And at Richmond IT says, who holds journalists to account when they go off their lines? Who holds journalists to account when they go off their lines is what you are asking. You can also join us on Twitter. Use the hashtag JoySMS. And then you can join us via phone. I think we just pick a call too on 0302-216-541 and then 055-1111-997. Let's speak to Nelson now, who's at Dwayne Kwanta. Nelson, good morning.
Yeah.
Yes, Nelson.
Good morning, my boss.
Yes, boss.
Very great conversation so far.
Thank you.
With regards to Ghana's media and its role in our affairs, I would really want to say that, first of all, we need to understand the context the media operates. First of all, we have evidence that majority of Ghana's media is already owned by politicians. And the salaries of media professionals is nothing to really write home about. Even go to community radios and you see that what mostly happens is copy-paste media. They listen, they look at what's happening in the Accra-based media platforms and then they try to photocopy everything verbatim. So you don't have innovation really, permeating through the way media is fashioned. But I would like to really touch on the fact that the media makes claims that it represents the voices of the people.
Okay, go ahead.
Talking for Ghanaians. But I think that we've moved far away from talking for the people to making the people themselves have their voices heard through their own voices.
Okay.
So the media should not be looking at itself as representing the people. It should rather empower the people to represent themselves. And this idea of IEE, information and entertainment and the rest, I think it can be a jargon for one media house, but it shouldn't be the overall pinnacle around which other media platforms. It's not only about these three jargons forming the basis of media strategies.
Okay.
Some media don't really do any information or entertainment stuff. They focus on other things, and I think we need to look at that aspect also.
Great. Nelson, thank you very, very much for joining us. We're very grateful to you. Folks, we can't pick any more of your calls. Please bear with us because we have to have another conversation about floods. And this time around, we're going to be talking about floods in the Volta regional capital of Ho. I mean, that's like news to you, isn't it? I mean, how many times? I'm not sure the last time you heard about floods in Ho, for instance. This morning, we're going to be speaking to the former head of drainage and flood control at the Hydrological Authority. We're having a conversation, but he's been there. He's actually seen it firsthand. He'll tell us what the challenge is and what can be done. Stay with us. Right after these messages, we get into that conversation.
Hits 103.9 FM, the official mouthpiece of tertiary institutions, brings you the Hits Tertiary Show. Friday, 21st July 2023, the Hits Tertiary Show stops at the Ghana Communications Technology University in Tesano. Join us as we interact, socialize, and have fun live on Hits 103.9 FM. There'll be loads of fun and entertainment as we deliberate on issues bothering students live on radio. Which tertiary institution do you represent? Watch out for the Hits Tertiary at a campus near you. For enquiries, call 0540-106-467 or 0559-691-797. Go ahead and follow us on social media platforms with the hashtag Hits Tertiary. Hits Tertiary is brought to you by Hits 103.9 FM and partnered by Ghana Communications Technology University, sponsored by Access Bank. More than banking, Unidus Long Love Condoms. Certain moments should last longer. Niche Confectionery. A taste of Ghana.
Abina, Abina, call me later. Abina, call me later.
I be like, tell me later. I don't deliver. I pass it up top.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Yeah. Watch me say we do be my nipa bo down. Ye ku me kwani ni nima kam. Eve nyame ni madi kuntia wo bo ne ma adam. The jama koma to homa watam. Oba ho na masa kola bo no foforo. Odo amako ho tokwasa je ho so tro. Me free there ko wo hunyum kwana metro. What's in the Toma you biaka can never roll. The shabby pants who no way if you could meme. Or papa buno na wa mami fear your name. Our real the best sacra me to name. The man and Munya would check us and Yadia Mrs. Sim. He say home a will be a suit to me rim. When I'm on Tim, I said, yeah, Michelle, me baby trim. Or bomb me pumo Mrs. Sweetie Brim. Or don't know that I was Sunday a woman frame.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show. Now, the Center for CSR West Africa, in association of Ghana Industries AGI, are inviting you to the National Corporate Social Responsibility and Sustainability Conference 2023. The conference brings together thought leaders from academia, regulatory agencies, international aid agencies, civil society, corporate organizations, and the media to network, partner, and discuss global best practices in CSR and sustainability. The conference will take place on Tuesday, the 25th of July at Lancaster Hotel in Accra. Now, there are networking, business matchmaking, speaking, sponsorship, and exhibition opportunities. To register or find out more, send a mail to centerforcsr@outlook.com or call 0533-487747. So yummy, yummy, yummy. Introducing the new super delicious and yummy McBerry Twist Cupcake. The McBerry Twist Cupcakes are baked with natural ingredients and come in two flavors, vanilla and chocolate. They taste as good as they look, and the best part is they're affordable. So hurry, get a whole pack for your family. McBerry Twist Cupcake is healthy and comes in handy as portable snack for your kids to eat and share with friends at school. Indulge in the deliciously baked and irresistible taste of McBerry Twist Cupcake and enjoy the goodness in every bite. It's available in every supermarket and provision shop near you. McBerry Twist Cupcake, simply irresistible, and this is FDA approved. So it's Bigo time. Are you worried about your parties, weddings, outdoorings, funerals, hangouts, on what to drink to enjoy during the celebration? Or you're worried about how to celebrate your friends and family during that special occasion? With Bigo, no wahala for the occasion. Bigo drinks have made it easy for everyone to enjoy and have the ideal celebration. It comes in different and captivating flavors, each one specifically created to enrich every moment and bring vitality to your life. The flavors include cocktail, cola, apple, coconut, lemon, lime, and orange. It comes in 16 and 20 in a pack. A lot to go around in various packs. It's refreshing and of good quality. Infuse color into your life and get rejuvenated. Grab a bottle of your favorite and treat yourself and loved ones to a memorable experience. Bigo Drinks, another quality product from Twelium Industries Limited. Right, so let's get into a conversation about floods. And over the weekend, the Volta Region capital, Ho, got flooded. Properties were lost. This morning, we're joined by former head of drainage and flood control at the Hydrological Authority. That's Engineer Wise Ametepe, who is former drainage and flood control at the Hydrological Authority. Engineer Ametepe, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well by the grace of God. We believe you're fine too.
Yeah.
Great. Please hold on and let's just go for the report on the floods in Ho. And then we'll come back to you, since you have been there, to tell us also what you saw and what you think caused it and what can be done.
In Bankoy, Akpenamawu, Ajimakofe, Polyclinic, Ho Technical University, barracks, prisons, medical villages, powerhouse, and Donokoji, among other suburbs, suffered the effect of the floods. Almost everything in a textile shop and a Estina Na enterprise, popularly known as Awonye, was washed away by the flood. The flood water broke the back of the shop and swept through. No injury was recorded. The shop owner, Ella Ati, asserted that a small-sized culvert that had sections blocked with pipelines was the major cause of the flood breaking into her shop.
16 years, 54 years.
I came to Ho when I was 16. I am now 54. We have never experienced any form of flooding until the pipes were stationed there. I am telling the authorities, we have already lost our properties. But what happens if a life is lost? They must address this situation.
Some victims at Bankoy were seen counting their losses. They blamed recent developments along the Kabakaba Hill and the small size of the drains in the area.
Kabakaba Hills
is now taking a huge development of hotels and houses. And you know, the rainfall flows from the mountain to the ground or the down here. And this is what we are suffering now. Because when you see the volume of water flowing from the mountain top down there, down to this place where we are now, it's very great.
How many miles? Make the mile.
It is overwhelming. Our chief was here and promised to do it himself. He took our pictures the first time we experienced the flooding situation and gave us some money. Until today, nothing has been done about it.
A team from the whole Municipal Assembly and the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has been visiting the affected areas to ascertain the extent of damage. Ivy Maukbamo is the Volta Regional NADMO Director.
Officers are also on ground with myself. We are still taking the assessment reports and then the necessary actions that need to be taken for the final result. So that question will definitely be answered latest by close of day. Then we know the actual number of people that have been affected.
The Ho Municipal Chief Executive, Divine Boson, said the drainage system of Ho must be redesigned and constructed entirely to prevent future flooding.
We need a lot of drains in town. We must build a lot of drains to contain the volume of waters that are passing through these waterways.
NADMO has promised to mobilize and respond to victims who may need some relief after the final assessment.
So that's the situation in Ho, particularly around the Ho Banque areas. You heard from Awunya, particularly being flooded, losing lots of things. Engineer Wise Ametepe, you've been there. You've seen things for yourself. First of all, since you are there, tell us what you have seen also in Ho during your visit.
Yeah, I saw quite a lot of devastating structures. Structures have collapsed, and I've seen the area of the palace where we have the chief's palace or the offices for the chief, paramount chief. There's a culvert in the area which also appears to be quite inadequate, and there are structures, utilities structures crossing the drain. You can even see some logs floating, swept onto the culvert, which is an indication that the water was carrying a lot of refuse as well. Yeah. And quite a number of structures in the area have been demolished. Shops, I was surprised to see even a big hole in one of the shops, which indicated that the flood was able to break the wall open and then got into the shop, swept every material out of the shop, out onto the street. Yeah. So that's some of the things I've seen.
Now, you've been there and you're an expert in this field. So let's get to understand a few things. Ho is not the area you would hear has flooded. So what caused the floods today? You've talked about the ways, but how come that today we have flooding in Ho?
Of course, Ho is an urban area. And then if you compare Ho today up to the past 20 years, Ho has not expanded as such. A lot of people have moved to Ho. A lot of structures are coming up in Ho. Thereby increasing the rainfall intensity in the city. In this particular area, you see there's a stream which has an existing drain. The drain is grossly inadequate. It needs to be expanded. So, because this drain is inadequate, and then for many years people have thought, oh, that drain is quite okay, forgetting that the upstream areas along the hills have all expanded. When you expand a community, you also increase the rainfall concentration. This is what they have not taken notice of. The whole area is built up, heavily built up. And there's no way any water can have the access of infiltration every water must be swept into the drain. So
let's understand something.
Yeah, this is what's happening, and thereby the area has the rainfall runoff in the area has increased over the years.
Let's understand something. You've talked about built up. Now, these areas, you're looking at that area, Awunya, and you see the hill over there. Are you suggesting that, the hill on which we have hotels and residences is the one creating this problem?
It's not only the hotels. Upstream, from the hills downstream to the palace area, is all heavily built up. Formerly, all those areas were covered with bush. Even the hotel areas along the hill, they were all bush. Now, all those bushes have been cleared and built up. And you'll be surprised, most of the areas are paved. So there's no way any water flowing along the hill can infiltrate into the ground. Every drop of water must come down to the city center. And this, as a result of that, we are seeing this heavy flood.
I see. Now, talking about dealing with this challenge, because we're told the rains are not going to stop anytime soon. So, Engineer Metefe, you've talked about the culvert having to be expanded, but beyond that, what else could be done?
Well, in fact, we need to prepare a whole drainage master plan for Ho. It's quite a long time the drainage master plan for Ho must be prepared. It's been on a drawing board for a long time. Let's prepare drainage master plan for Ho. But it's never coming on. It should come up now. Ho is expanding and equally expanding like other urban areas in the country. So we need to prepare the drainage master plan. We don't have to do ad hoc measures. Go and solve this problem without preparing a master plan of the area. Prepare it and see what structures need to be removed along the waterway, how large should the channel be, and what slope should be put in place, because it's along a very steep slope, and so the flows are very, very fast. And it can destroy a lot of things because the flows are very fast. So we need to put in a good structure, control the flows in the structure so that they don't spill out and cause a lot of damage. This is what needs to be done.
Now, I'm just concerned. Are you suggesting that all these years we don't have a drainage master plan for Ho?
No, there's no drainage master plan yet for Ho.
How many cities in Ghana have drainage master plans?
Pardon?
Do you know the number of cities in Ghana that have...
Yeah, I can tell you some of them.
Yes.
Tema has, Accra has, Takoradi has, Tamale has a very good drainage master plan. Kumasi, not fully a master plan. These are the cities that we have in Ghana which have drainage master plans.
And this drainage master plan that you talk about, we know that Accra has, but Accra is still flat. So how's that the way to solving the problem?
Having a drainage master plan does not mean the city will no longer flood. You need to implement the structure.
Yes, but that's
if
the other point.
If you have a plan, that tells you if anybody even has money to develop, he must follow the plan. So it's another way of getting one step ahead. But if there's no plan at all, anybody goes to do anything he wants at any time.
So in the interim, now that you're talking about the drainage master plan, the question is, in the interim, what should be done? While we wait for that. In the interim, what should we do?
Yeah, in the interim, we should prepare the master plan. But if there's no money to prepare the master plan, we can only concentrate on this particular one, this particular channel.
As in expanding the culverts, expanding the channel?
You need to redesign the whole channel. As it is, it's not designed. Some areas are some areas, only few areas are concrete line, especially the area along the palace, where the palace is. That area is concrete line. But also in the palace area, the whole area is paved. So you see, when the drain spills over its banks, it gets onto the palace because the place is spilled and it's tiled. It also accelerates the flow of the water in the area. So we need to plan the area properly. We can even do this one individually. But I suggest the whole drainage master plan for Ho should be taken into account.
Let's look at the time frame. Let's look at the time frame. All that you've talked about, how long would it take us?
I can't tell you now that it will take 1 year, 2 years. For the whole drainage master plan for Ho can take about 1 year to do. And then you begin to implement them as and when funds are available.
But in the meantime, the rains will not be waiting, Engineer Metepe.
Of course, at the moment, there's nothing they can do. They can only go to clear the drain as it is now. Those refuse in the drain immediately must be cleared, so that you can at least allow it to let even little rains to pass.
All right.
But now, as you see, what I saw, if they don't remove those logs or clean the drain, the floods will persist and the people will continue to suffer.
Okay. Engineer Wise Ametepe, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Engineer Wise Ametepe is former head of drainage and flood control at the Hydrological Authority, joining us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, telling us that, look, what really needs to be done now is a drainage master plan for Ho, and that he says would take us about a year to put it together. In the meantime, we'd have to desilt, the drainage system because you saw lots of refuge in there, and that's only the way to go about it. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set.